Turkish Airlines Euroleague. No jump, no glory. Game of the Week, presented by Turkish Airlines, Doğuş Group, Seat, Intersport, and Turkey Home.
The world capital of basketball this weekend, beautiful Berlin, Germany, is a setting for Clash of Titans tonight as the very best two teams on the continent this season, CSKA Moscow.
2 hours from now, how are they going to do it with a mix of intense physical play on both sides of the floor? They play hard, they play aggressive on offense and defense, but they love to punish opposing teams and suffocate them with their defensive prowess. And the X factor, Selko Obradovic on the bench.
The players are on the floor warming up, which means we are on our way to tip off in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game, with CSKA gunning for its 7th continental title after winning the last in 2008, and Fenerbahce trying for its first. As we make our way to tip off, let's take a closer look at our finalists in our game analysis.
Lucas and Pero Antic to bring their experience to bear in the championship game.
There are problems that they can put to us, but I hope we will have also the opportunity, and we do have the quality to put a lot of problems to their defense too.
With their coaching partnership having made them champions over and over together, this time either Obradovic or Itudis must take the trophy for himself and his team.
We know each other very good, but the thing, and I know Dimitris and also myself, we'll try to prepare some things. In this level, to surprise the opponent team is very difficult.
Definitely, Dimitris and Željko, they will try to help their teams, and they have an influence on the X and O's and philosophy. but players are those that they're going to bring the glory.
We are back live at Mercedes-Benz Arena in Berlin, and you're looking at the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Champions Trophy in the middle of the court. And one of these two teams, CSKA Moscow or Fenerbahçe Istanbul, are going to be lifting that in just a couple hours. We're going to get a look at the player introductions for tonight's Turkish Airlines Euroleague final championship game. And the crowd is getting into it already. CSKA being introduced first. We'll get a look at their roster on the screen in a second. And as far as we know, everyone is healthy and ready to play. But all eyes will be on their exquisite pair of all EuroLeague guards. This year's MVP, Nando De Colo, and former MVP, Milos Teodosic. De Colo broke the Final Four record for points in a do-or-die Final Four game in Friday's semifinal when he scored 30 points. While Teodosic is the most prolific three-point shooter this season in EuroLeague and one of the most spectacular assist makers in EuroLeague history. There you get a look at the CSKA Moscow lineup. We're going to see who the starters are tonight for head coach Dimitris Atudis in just a second, but they're ready to go. They've been focused, and they have just run through a tough schedule this season in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague, and made the grade in the semifinal and are ready to challenge Fenerbahce Oker. Here are the starters for CSKA Moscow: Nando De Colo, Corey Higgins, Nikita Kurbanov, Andre Vorontsevich, and Kyle Hines coming out first tonight for head coach Dimitris Atudis, and very much many of the starters that he's had during the season. Corey Higgins was a halftime starter, same with Nikita Kurbanov, but pretty much who they counted on in a lot of games.
What a luxury to have De Colo on the floor and have someone like Teodosic coming in. As you said, one of the most prolific three-point scorers of all time. Plus a guy that gets everybody involved on the court. He sees people that most people would never see. A couple steps ahead of the game, but this team is deep, very deep. And right now we're looking at another deep team in Fenerbahce.
Fenerbahce, of course, headed by the great Jelko Obradović. Remember, no one has won more EuroLeague titles than his 8 times. And he too has a wealth of options to choose from. It's all EuroLeague selections, 3 of them, Jan Vesely, Epe Udo, and Luigi Datome in his lineup. But they are not only backed up, but often led by the youngest regular player we're likely to see on either team tonight, Bogdan Bogdanović, who was Fenerbahce's hero in their overtime semifinal victory on Friday. Now we get a look at that Fenerbahce roster for tonight's game. But the young guy, Bogdan Bogdanović, 9 of his 18 points in overtime after Fenerbahce basically snuck in there on a great shot by Kostas Lukas against Labrador Kucha Victoria Gasteiz to take that game to overtime, and that's where the young guy Bogdan Bogdanović stood tall and made it happen. Here we see the starters: Kostas Lukas, Bogdan Bogdanović, Luigi Datome, Nikola Kalinic, and Jan Vesely will be the first guys on the floor for head coach Jelko Obradović. And that's interesting, Joe, because in the case of Slukas, he's only started 6 out of 20 games this year. Kalinic about halftime, so it's a big move to put Slukas.
Right off the bat, we're looking at something about Jelko Obradović. We talk about Jelko all the time, about his prowess, his awareness in game, what he's doing. All of a sudden, Udo's on the bench to start the game, and you got Kalinic in the game. Interesting move.
And we're going to get a look at what our head coaches had to say to their players in the locker room right before this game, starting with Dimitris Atudis of CSKA Moscow.
About rebounds, and it's very important today, our small, to be involved in that. Actually, not only bigs, that bigs also are required over there, but small, you need to help on boards. And we need to help on boards in both situations. And I don't want to see any doubts on offense when we have shots, when we have an open looks. Need to be protected, need to be supported actually by at least 2 players over there. At the same time, we need the balance, of course, defensive balance, but at least 2. We go over there to support those jumpers.
And there is Dimitris Atudis, the head coach of CSKA Moscow, after he gave his speech to his team. But as we all know, He was the assistant coach for Željko Obradović from 1999 to 2012, 13 seasons together, and they won 5 EuroLeague titles. Tonight's 2 head coaches on the same bench for those 13 years and sharing those 5 EuroLeague titles. And now we'll hear what the great Željko Obradović had to say to his Fenerbahce players right before this game.
All the season we play to be over here, and any one of you make excellent job, starting with the kids to help the team to come over here. You show something that is very important. You work very hard, and you deserve to play this game. You deserve to play this game. And I want from your side something that I'm sure that you have. Every one of you, you have a lot of character inside of you. And because of this character, we are over here. And I want from your side to go out and to show this that you have inside. Character. Okay, this is the key tonight. Let's go.
And an inspirational pregame talk from that man, the winningest person in European club basketball history, Željko Obradović, with 8 titles to his name, and now in his 15th Final Four in just 24 years of coaching. Says to his players, you belong here, you've got the character to win this, and many of them become titleists for the first time.
Well, he knows, Frank, he has 8 of them, so he knows what it takes, and character is the main thing here. You have to have a lot of character to come out here and play. I expect these guys to come out here and play extremely physical from the beginning. CSKA's not a very physical team. They don't like to play physical, so I look for him to come out and really get into CSKA's face right off the bat.
Another major factor, Arlakos, Željko Obradović has played in 8 EuroLeague championship games, and he has won all 8. It's only when he hasn't been able to get to the final, out of Final Four, that he has lost. But when it's come down to this day, title day, Željko Obradović is 8-0 in the EuroLeague Final Four. There's some other guys on both teams as we look at our referees for tonight's game, with Luigi Lamonica of Italy, Robert Lodermoser of Germany, and Damir Javor of Slovenia. I will see from our insider ref cam throughout the game and throughout the weekend, as we've seen, the images coming off the jersey cam that one of the referees is wearing, and you just got a quick look at it in the pregame festivities, and you'll get a look at it throughout tonight's broadcast. You can't get closer to the action than the insider ref cam. As we wait to see our starters come onto the court to get ready for this Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game. Several players are trying to add to their log of EuroLeague titles. For Fenerbahce, Kostas Lukas and Pero Antic had 2 titles each with Olympiacos in 2012 and 13, and Ricky Hickman has 1 from when he played for Maccabi Tel Aviv in 2014. On the CSKA side, we have Kyle Hines with the same 2 titles that Pero Antic and Kostas Lukas won with Olympiacos, so old teammates going at it, while Victor Kriapa and Andrei Vorincevic each have 1. So players, everybody else is playing for their first, and you know they are going to be totally inspired for that possibility tonight. And here you can listen to the anthem of the EuroLeague, I Feel Devotion, as the starters for tonight's game stand on the court with some of the one-team participants from the local EuroLeague basketball team, Alba Berlin, one of the clubs doing great work all around Europe in the one-team corporate social responsibility program of EuroLeague basketball, and it's great to see those participants, those youngsters, stand shoulder to shoulder with the stars right here before the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game, showing how much they belong and they deserve their moment in the spotlight as well, representing all the many young people around the continent who are getting help through one team. Again, we see the insider ref cam, and Joe, as we go to tip-off, what do you be looking for, Ovi?
Well, I'm already looking, Frank, at the fact that Bobby Dixon and Udo are not in this game. I don't know what's going on. It's a starting lineup, a different starting lineup for Selko, but it's something that he's seen through the matchups that he wants to use. Maybe it's a way to get De Colo, not him in the game so quickly. Take him out of the game early if possible.
And we have tip-off in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Championship game. It is controlled by CSKA Moscow. Corey Higgins out top, shadowed by Kostas Lukas. Ball goes to Nando De Colo, the MVP. Gets into the lane, running one-hander on the mark. He picks up where he left off in the semifinal.
You can't forget, you got to forget about stopping him already. He's already on fire right off the bat. Takes it to the basket with a nice little floater.
It makes it look easy, as we said, all on Friday and through the season. Fenerbahce gets it inside to Vesely, kicks to Kalinic on the wing. For three, Nikola Kalinic getting Fenerbahce on the board.
Oh, you gotta love a championship game that starts like that. 2 baskets in a row, beautiful play by both teams.
CSKA gets it to De Colo on the wing, working with Kyle Hines on the switch. Gives it inside. Hines fakes, goes inside and off the backboard. Kyle Hines coming to play as well.
And there's your key player tonight, if you ask me, on the floor. Kyle Hines is going to cause a lot of damage inside the paint.
You see him do more and more things in his career, and that little fake and draw was one. Here's Dakome fully covered with the shot and the foul. He'll be going to the free throw line. 4 for 4 shooting to start off the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Championship game.
Dakome coming off the big old school style, squaring up and sticking it right in his face, getting a foul and one.
And that brought a majority, let's say, Fenerbahce crowd out of its seat, and as more they get into it, the more they'll be pumping up the players from Fenerbahce, of course. Dakome at the free throw line completes a 3-point play. And we have a 6-4 lead for Fenerbahce. 3 points each time down the floor for them. But CSKA has not missed either. Goran Sevic, 3-pointer up and out, and rebounded by Luigi Dakome.
First miss of the game right there. It took a little while.
Kalinic backing down on De Colo. De Colo falls, Kalinic misses, and Corey Higgins comes up with a rebound, so finally each team has a miss. Higgins working on Slukas, backing him in, still going down. Turnaround, fade away. Hines got a piece of the rebound and went off the arm of Jan Vesely, giving CSKA Moscow 14 more seconds to score on this possession.
Interesting play right there. Corey Higgins trying to post up and play the big man. He's more of a 3-point shooter, shooting 54% this season, but saw something down low.
Top 3-point shooter percentage-wise in the EuroLeague. Corey Higgins, De Colo behind his back, gets it back, goes to Higgins. De Colo behind his back. Higgins from deep on the mark. Corey Higgins, a great team basketball from CSKA.
How smooth is De Colo with that left-handed behind the back pass? That was so sweet. Higgins knew it was coming.
7-6, 6-7 lead for CSKA. Bogdanovic with the ball on the wing, looking inside, and Nikita Kurbanov gets caught with holding Jan Vesely for the second foul in this game. Look at him.
Look at that pass. Catching the ball off the dribble, his left hand behind the back, looking left and going the other way. What court vision.
On the mark.
This guy's amazing.
Perfect time into Higgins.
I need a rest, Frank.
We got a long game ahead of us, and it started off just the way you would want a championship game to begin. Fenerbahce, Bogdanovic inside, kicks to Kalinic. He hit one already. He's trying one again, and it's Bogdanovic with the rebound, putting it right back in without hitting the floor.
So intelligent by Bogdanovic to not come down with that ball and get stuck in the land of the Giants. Just get it while you're up there, get that ball in position and bank it.
A foul on Kalinic, and a little taking offense to that was Nando De Colo.
Now we know we're in a championship game, Frank. Now we know we're here.
And here we'll see the replay.
And this is something.
They got their arms tied up. Foul was called.
Took a little ball right there from De Colo. But let me tell you something. This is something that these games are all about. These are statement plays right now.
So the MVP taking taking a little offense at the way he was fouled by Kalinic, and after the whistle.
When you're MVP, you better expect that. When you're MVP, you better expect that in a championship game. No one's going to just let you get to the basket like they did the first time.
Well, he gave it back is what he did, and that shows something too. Here's CSKA inbounding the ball, and in fear of a 5-second violation, Corey Higgins heads up play, tosses it off the knee of Slukas and out of bounds, so CSKA can try it again. Got an 8-7 lead for Fenerbahce, hardly any misses in this game so far. Inbounds to Vorontsevich, to Higgins in the corner. Fakes Kalinic. Vorontsevich goes up, misses, ball's loose into the hands of Bogdanovic, and he goes into transition behind his back. He's got a mind to go into the basket, but gets turned back. Kalinic to Datome on the wing for three. Nothing but net. Luigi Datome.
GG.
Both teams are on fire in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague championship game.
What a great look by Kalinic in the low post, too. Beautiful pass, setting up Gigi for that easy three-pointer.
Higgins fakes it. They get the ball inside to Kyle Hines, going against Vesely. Kick out to Vorontsevich. He's got a good percentage. He knocks it down as well. Everybody's hitting and nobody's missing so far in this game.
Vorontsevich is right back at you, Gigi. It's coming right back at you, baby.
9 different scorers in the first less than 4 minutes of this game. Steal by De Colo. Ahead to Vorontsevich. Layup attempt. He was blocked by Kalinic, but he committed the foul beforehand, so that will put...
Intelligent play here by De Colo. You're going to see him use the bounce pass here so effectively to keep that ball away from the defender and get Vorontsevich to the basket and foul.
I do believe Kalinic actually got the ball, but he climbed the back of Vorontsevich with his knee, and that's where the foul was called. And it puts Andre Vorontsevich on the free throw line.
I'm watching the Fenerbahce bench, and Udo is way back in the corner, getting warmed up a little bit. Now Zelko's looking for him. He just found him right next to the bench. He's coming in the game. He's not gonna be out here for too long. He's not gonna be out of this game for too long. I see him coming in right now.
First free throw goes down, and Andre Vorontsevich ties it up with a chance to put CSKA back ahead. They've been going back and forth on the scoreboard. And he does just that.
That's Kalinic's second foul also that we just saw on that fast break. Another reason why the big man is coming in. So now you got what we've been talking about all weekend, kind of a theme all weekend, Vesely and Udo playing together in this game. They've done it so well. They did it great in the first game. We'll see what they do here in the finals.
2 fouls on Kalinic, brings in Udo for the Twin Tower effect for Fenerbahce. Remember, Udo broke the EuroLeague record for total blocks this season, but he's done more than that as well throughout the year. Bogdanovic inside to Udo, gets sandwiched, goes out to Datome with the pass, but it's kicked out of bounds, and Fenerbahce will get another try.
Great help right there by Vorontsevich, getting Udo cutting down the middle. That's where Udo is so effective, coming off that pick and roll, cutting down the middle. He likes to get the ball and turn around and shoot, but Vorontsevich gave him no space that time to shoot that.
8 for 13 shooting so far between the two teams in this game. Bogdanovic going to try his hand off the front of the rim into the hands of Milos Teodosic, who's now in for CSKA Moscow. Second leading scorer in the EuroLeague this season after his teammate. Here's Teodosic off the mark and in the basket.
And he doesn't take long to get warmed up, let me tell you.
He's got CSKA up 4, and he just broke the EuroLeague record for three-pointers in the season. That's his 75th. Nobody's ever hit more in one EuroLeague season. Somebody must
have told him that record was there. He said, I want to get rid of that right away.
Teodosic in his 7th Final Four without having won one yet, so you know he's got to be one of the most motivated guys out there. But I think they're all just the same in motivation level.
He wants this thing, there's no doubt about it. He's had a couple near misses, but he's here now.
To the rim was Slukas on the miss. Vorontsevich with the rebound. De Colo in transition. Takes Slukas down low. Turns around off the back of the rim into the hands of Slukas. He's on the run, and De Colo stops the transition with a foul.
I think that's exactly what Slukas is in the game for here at the beginning. is to kind of hold DiColo down a little bit. DiColo's coming out of the game right now. Higgins coming in to take his place. It's a chance for Fenerbahce to maybe jump in a little bit, get more aggressive offensively, take advantage of this time where DiColo's on the bench.
It's 11-15. DiColo on the bench. Fritzen in. And Bogdanovic with the ball. Still dribbling. Gets it back from Vesely. Facing Hines. Goes to Slukas for three. Off the front of the rim. Hines corrals the rebound. And Bogdanovic trying to block his way, gets called for the foul. But what a first 5 minutes of the championship game, Joe.
I'm glad someone called a timeout. I was getting tired.
Timeout on the floor at Mercedes-Benz Arena in Berlin, Germany. And a wild and fascinating start to the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague championship game. It's 11-15 in favor of CSKA Moscow as we take a break in the action. And we go back to our insider ref cam as you see how the refs were greeted by the players and coaches right before the start of this Turkish Airlines EuroLeague championship game and some of the early action as well. And we come back from the first time out, Joe. We have an 11-15 lead for CSKA Moscow. They put on a little surge here, but it's been very close the entire way.
Yeah, one of the most interesting things I've seen so far is the way CSKA's defending the pick and roll up top on Udo when he cuts to the basket. It's very Zelko-like. Zelko used to do this himself, and he still does it occasionally. When the big man cuts down the middle, he brings the 4 or the 5 man from the other side to stop that penetration in the middle. So automatically, Judas is going to try to take away that little jump shot from the foul line. And CSKA really taking care of the ball with 0 turnovers so far in this game.
Higgins out top for CSKA, gets it to Teodosic. Tries to go between the defenders. Let's see if the foul's called on Vesely or Bobby Dixon, who's now in the game for Fenerbahce. And it's Bobby Dixon crowding Teodosic as he tried to split the defenders. CSKA inbounds with a 4-point lead. Teodosic on the run. The ball goes off his knee and out of bounds on a good defense by Jan Vesely. So it's a turnover for CSKA Moscow.
You know, the defensive player by Vesely, other than getting his hand in the way, was the fact that he used his body and he just came down the lane and cut that lane off to Teodosic to get to the basket. Couldn't turn that corner on him because of the defensive position.
Live shot from our refs cam, the conversation between the referee and Željko Obradović. His team, Fenerbahce, inbounds the ball. Bobby Dixon, of course, is a marksman from the arc. They're going to watch out for him. Vesely hands off to Bogdanovic. Gets it back from Udo. 6 on the shot clock. He's going to have to do something. Bogdanovic will fire from deep off the front of the rim, but Luigi Datome seems to have the rebound, and he does, and gets fouled by Andrei Vorontsevich. First foul on Vorontsevich.
Both teams get a little bit more physical defensively as we started the first couple minutes.
And both will be shooting in the bonus with the next fouls that are committed, with a little under 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Bogdanovic inbounds Bobby Dixon on the switch. Kyle Hines with him, but they switch back. Bogdanovic to Vesely. Baseline, one-hander. Nice little shot from John Vesely.
And I was just about to add that Vesely hasn't touched the ball offensively yet. That's a nice little play for Vesely to get into. They really need him.
First shot of the first basket of the night by John Vesely. Fritzen comes off the screen on the roll, kicks out to Victor Kriapa just in the game. Ball swings to Teodosic from deep, off the mark. Rebound fought for and picked up by Vesely. Bobby Dixon inside to Epe Udo. Gets it to Datome, one stop, pop by Datome in. Fast as you can shoot it.
Gigi wants the ball tonight. He wants it. He's looking for the ball. As soon as he gets it, his first thought is to the basket every time.
Leading scorer so far with 8 points, Gigi Datome. Has it all tied up. Higgins, he'll chop and pop for 3. On the mark, answering back, Corey Higgins.
You can't do that if you're Zelko Obradovic and Fenerbahce. You cannot let Higgins come off of that pick and have that wide of an open look at the basket. He's a 54% shooter. We've said it over and over again.
Yeah, time to think about it, too.
Too much time.
Bogdanovic gets in the lane, dribbles out. Looking for Udo, has him. Victor Kriapa, former best defender trophy winner down there. Udo goes over with the hook and off the front of the rim, so good job by Kriapa.
Udo's getting a lot of looks inside. He's getting a big man like Kriapa. He's getting a little man like Kyle Hines. Hines makes it difficult for a big man to make their moves because of his low center of gravity. Makes it real tough. And then we got Kriapa with his length and his ability to hold people away from the basket. Makes it a little bit more tougher for Udo.
Milos Teodosic drawing a foul on Bobby Dixon. That goes down as the second foul on Dixon. He stays in the ball game while Ricky Hickman comes in to replace. Looks like Bogdan Bogdanovic takes his first seed of this game. And Milos Teodosic at the free throw line makes the first of 2. So they took a little shot from Fenerbahce, but they're going to go back into a 4-point or 5-point lead right away.
They're coming right back, and now Zelko's looking for another lineup change here, going with 2 point guards to see how that's going to work for him.
Teodosic does indeed up the difference to 5 points, which has been matching the high so far for CSKA. They've had a couple good runs. Vesely hands off to Ricky Hickman, former Euroleague champion. Dixon shadowed by Higgins. He'll pop it from deep. Bobby Dixon off the mark into the hands of Milos Teodosic. Teodosic still has it, goes to Hines, stutter steps.
Got him for a travel right there.
Stutter steps, it gets called for a traveling violation.
But let me tell you something, Hickman took a shot by Hines. What a pick that was on the fast break. We're gonna see it right here. Look at this pick. Hickman looks and says, somebody tell me that the pick is there, please, especially when it's Kyle Hines.
A brick wall pick.
Oh.
You know? His guards love playing with him because people just bounce off him, clear out of the way. Here's Dixon to Hickman, looking for Vesely, pulls it back out, goes to Datome. It's Vesely with Teodosic on him, mismatch, another one-hander. This one misses, but Udo rips the rebound. Hickman inside, running one-hander by him, gets fouled and puts it down. Ricky Hickman coming in and getting a big basket for Fenerbahce.
Nice play getting to the basket there, but let me tell you something. Itunis is doing a really good job. We see so many times of Vesely cutting down the middle or Udo cutting down the middle and getting that little layup, and they are not giving that play up. They're not going to give up that easy basket, man. They're going to make those both big men work for their baskets. But Hickman makes a beautiful play. He catches the foul, just lays it in pretty.
But let's remember, this was a big game player just 2 years ago, Ricky Hickman, all through the playoffs and into the title game and winning that with Maccabi Tel Aviv. Completes a three-point play. It's a two-point ball game, 18-20. Hines looking for Teodosic. Can't get it to him. Good D by Dixon. Hines against Vesely. Called for a second traveling violation in a row as Vesely was there with him step for step.
Again, Vesely doing the same thing on that defensive play. Being able to slide his feet horizontally. We're going to see him. He's going to cut all the way down to the baseline and try to shut that off to make sure that he's not able to turn the corner with his shoulder. And it's hard to do that with someone like Kyle Hines who's that big.
There you get a look at the great Zelko Obradovic.
I talk to him all the time about that red face, about when he screams, he's that red face, but he says he's in better shape these days.
Dixon with the ball on the wing for Fenerbahce, chance to tie or go ahead. Hickman. Ball knocked away by Kriapa on the second try. He gets called for a foul.
He's so long, Kriapa. His length, he's taking the ball away from point guards out there. Probably tried one too many times over there, got called for the foul. Hickman's going to go to the line for two. There were 47 seconds left in the first.
Hickman, as we were saying, was a huge protagonist on a team that won the Euroleague title 2 years ago. He was injured last year when Fenerbahce went to the Final Four, didn't get to play. Came back early in the season this year and has not had a huge role, but like I said, he knows big games, and he's certainly come out and given them a lift right now.
It's interesting because in that game, Tyrese Rice is the guy that everybody talks about because he took over that game in the overtime, but it was Hickman that got him there. Rice was a pivotal part. I even think he got the MVP of that game, if I'm not mistaken, but Hickman was a huge part of that game.
In the game for Fenerbahce now is Meli Maimatolu, known as a three-point marksman himself. Fritzen with the ball, shadowed by Natome, almost loses it, but gets it to Victor Kriapa, goes all the way in, misses, but Pavel Korobkov comes up with the rebound, and he gives it back to Kriapa for a go-ahead shot. 23 seconds left in the first quarter, so two quick substitutions here at the end. Pavel Korobkov with the big offensive rebound. Has CSKA ahead with 13 seconds left. Let's see if Fenerbahce can tie or go ahead. Hickman out top. He's had the last 5 points for his team. 5 on the shot clock. Lost the handle. He's going to have to shoot it. Gets inside. Tries to drive. Blocked by Kriapa. So nothing doing for Ricky Hickman after he scored 5 points in a row. And Kriapa there with the defense to preserve a 20-22 lead. CSKA Moscow over Fenerbahce Istanbul at the end of 10 minutes here in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game. We have a top scorer is Luigi Datome. Come back and join us for the second quarter.
Turkish Airlines, Doge Group, Spalding, Intersport, and Turkey Home, official global sponsors of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
Coming back for second quarter action in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game, and it's been very even throughout. A couple 5-point leads by CSKA, but Fenerbahce made up in a hurry, and CSKA had the last word of the first quarter with a 2-point lead.
Yeah, they took a 2-point lead, but such a great contest here. Such a battle between two teams that are really playing physical right now. They're playing a great game. We saw the offensive explosion there in the first minute and a half to 2 minutes of the game. Then they settled back in the game a little bit, became a little bit more of a defensive battle. Now I feel like both teams are here now. They've arrived. They realize they're in the final. They're comfortable with where they're at, and they're ready to go. This game is only going to get better as we go.
We've already got 9, I believe, scorers in this game in the first 10 minutes, and there's not many more guys than that got in the game. So everybody's come to play, and not much of a difference. Just the 2 late turnovers by Kyle Hines on the traveling calls gave it a little more opportunity to Fenerbahce, and they took it to tie it up, but now they're down by 2. Otherwise, it's CSKA's 3-point shooting, 4 for 7 in that first quarter as compared to 2 for 7 for Fenerbahce, and that would be the difference that we're seeing right now.
Yeah, when we talk about rotations all the time and team rotations, looks like Zelko might be trying to cut his rotation a little bit because Vesely and Datome both played 10 minutes in that first quarter, and they're still in the game right now starting the second.
It'll be Hickman for Fenerbahce to get the second quarter underway. Looking inside to Vesely. Has to go out top to let Udo throw it in. Vesely backs down, ball's loose, and it's Pavel Korobkov coming up with the play for CSKA.
That was a setup play for Vesely, trying to get him into the game as quick as he can here in the second quarter. Trying to get him the ball, let him move in the low post, but unfortunately loses it in the middle.
Hickman almost steals it from Dekolo, who's back on the court. He stops and pops and gets it tipped by Epe Udo.
Oh, Udo. I think everybody underestimates the length of his arm. It's amazing how long this guy is. You're gonna watch Nicolo here go to the basket. Loves to pull up, and get a little stop, pop, and drop. But Udo's like, He's like, go, gadget arms. I don't know if anybody knows what that means anymore, but that's old school, Frank.
Coming on the court, Pero Antic for Fenerbahce Istanbul. He's a two-time champion. He knows what the big stage is all about. Melih Mehmetoğlu is still in there, along with Datomi, Udo, and Hickman for Fenerbahce.
Antic is a big man, but he's a guy that's real effective from the perimeter. He loves to shoot.
There you see him go straight to the corner, waiting for the ball.
He loves those corners. He builds a little house over there, sets up, and tries to drill that three of his.
Interior pass puts Datomi on Fritzen, who reaches in and gets called for the foul.
Datomi has one thing in mind today, Frank. He's looking at the basket. I haven't seen him touch the ball and look for anybody else. He's like, hey, man, I'm a big-time player. This is a big-time game. Give me the rock.
2 for 2 on 2 pointers, 1 for 1 from downtown, and 1 for 1 at the free throw line. Makes him the leading scorer in this game. Gigi Datomi with 8 points. Trying to inbound, gets it to Udo. Gets it back. Datomi backing down on Fritzen. Crowded by 3 defenders, gets the pass away. But first there was a foul.
He needed 3 guys on him to think about passing at that time, and he was still going to shoot it. I love the way this guy's playing right now. Look at him. He's got 1, 2. Here comes the other guy in the baseline. All of them, and he still wanted to shoot that ball.
I think they fouled him on his little hair button there. If I'm not mistaken, he got his hair pulled on the foul because he's got it up in a bunch behind his head. Next time it'll be the beard, right?
Exactly.
Hickman will inbounds with 14 on the shot clock for Fenerbahce.
Both teams having a tough time inbounding the ball. I saw CSKA have a tough time before in their side of the court. And right now, Fenerbahce, the last 2 or 3 times, have a tough time getting the ball in.
Kurbanov back in the game for CSKA to replace Fritzen. Probably to counter that post-up defensive situation that Fenerbahce was forcing with Datomi. They bring in Kurbanov. Datomi gets the ball to Dixon. Trying to go around Theodosic, gives it to Mehmetoğlu. He's a sniper, in and out by Melih Mehmetoğlu.
I almost got on my seat for that shot right there.
Fadeaway 3 near the bench always gets the crowd off their feet, but not that time for Melih Mehmetoğlu. Theodosic to Kurbanov. Gets fouled on the shot, so he'll go to the free throw line. Squeezing the pass through was Theodosic.
Udo with cat-like reaction. Look at him come, boom. Gets there, and as soon as he gets back, gets up again to try to block that shot.
So still we have this, after the fast start shooting in the first quarter, and a minute and a half here in the second quarter, if Kurbanov can hit a free throw, that would be the first points of this second quarter, and he does just that to lengthen the CSKA Moscow lead.
Game plans are coming into play now. Defensive game plans are coming in. All the fun in the beginning of the first 2 minutes now settle down in a little bit more of a defensive type game, which, if you ask me, benefits more to the style of play of Fenerbahce.
Kurbanov knocks them both down, 88% free throw shooter. They're 6 for 6 as a team. Nobody's missed a free throw tonight. Udo out top for Fenerbahce. Drives on Kurban. Podobkov, the ball swings to Bobby Dixon for 3. Fenerbahce staying right on CSKA's heels.
You gotta watch out for point guards in these final flyers in these championship games, Frank. Bobby Dixon's capable of taking over games. We've seen guards all the
Theodosic through the defense all alone and hits it. Drop shot over the best shot blocker in Euroleague history.
What was I just saying about guards? You gotta watch them. They're taking over these Final Fours.
Udo with the ball out top to Bogdanovic, who's back in the game. Goes cross court to Antic. He'll pump that. And Viktor Kriapa was there. Got a piece of the ball, but got a piece of Pero Antic's arm.
being out by here makes a great move and not biting on that fake. He knows Anthems likes to throw that fake first. Doesn't bite on it, but gets a little piece of that arm. Puts Anthems on the line for 3 free throws.
Chance to tie it up for Pero Antic, who's been hitting 73% of his free throws coming into this Final Four.
I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Theodosic today. He's looking like a leader out there. He just went up to Kardapa, settled him down a little bit, came up to DeColo just now here in front of us and kind of gave him a high five and said, hey, DeColo's only got 2 points right now, but keep your head in the game. Don't worry about it. Theodosic is looking like a leader right now down the floor.
Pero Antic makes 2 out of his 3. He's got another 1 to go. Nobody's missed a free throw in this game. Both teams 6 for 6. That's also a sign of teams being ready for the championship game.
Concentration, and I'll tell you what, foul shots win and lose game. We saw that with Labrador Luchka in the semifinal game. 3 missed free throws in the game was really costly for them. That's why they're not here in this championship game. Got to make your free throws in this, especially in big games like this.
Pero Antic ties it up. We got 26-26 early in the second quarter. Goran Sevic back in for CSKA and Nikola Kalinic back in for Fenerbahce. Teodosic to DeColo. Goran Sevic for 3 off the back of the rim. Can't get to the rebound. It's snared by Udo. And at the other end, an offensive foul called on Pero Antic. As trying to get position as DeColo. We'll see the replay here. And looks like DeColo was stationary when Pero Antic came along. And
big man's always going to get that foul called on him, let me tell you.
The poor big man, right?
Yeah, he's always going to get that foul called on him.
Spoken like a true big man. Anyway, it's got ball on the turnover. DeColo crowds inside, passes out to Goran Sevic for 3, misses again. Goran Sevic is a very good 3-point shooter, over 45% this season, and a lot of them, but not those last 2. Dixon gets it to Udo, driving on Korobkov, spins and puts up the hook shot, and we'll go to the free throw line on a foul by Pavel Korobkov. He's been out there more. I'm not sure if he played at all in the semifinal. He's out there a lot tonight. Obviously, there's bigger men on Fenerbahce, and he's one of the guys that has to help. So
they are
head coach Dimitris Atudis giving them some encouragement. This came up, played well.
They are making Udo's life miserable in the paint. He is not getting anything easy at all. Even on that last move, he got bumped. They're playing real physical with him. Nice little move by him. Missed the jump hook, but got the foul call. Gets to the foul line. He'd love to see one go in here from the foul line. Doesn't get the first one. He needs to get back into this game.
First miss of either night. And speaking of somebody who needs to get back into the game, or at least he had the first basket, now been on the floor for 9 minutes, is the MVP, Nando DeColo, still sitting on those 2 points. He had 2 more misses since his opening basket in this game. Udo makes the second free throw. That gives Fenerbahce back the lead. They've had a tough time getting in front on the scoreboard. DeColo guarded by Bogdanovic, who reaches in and gets called for the foul.
That's Bogdan's second foul also.
We have 2 fouls on Kalinic, 2 fouls on Dixon, and 2 fouls on Bogdanovic. So a little of the backcourt aggressive defense by Fenerbahce is bringing some fouls.
I love how aware these players are. As soon as Bogdanovic got that second foul, he looked over the bench to get the thumbs up, said, I'm fine, do not take me out.
Teodosic in the corner, the DeColo fakes and a runner, puts it down from the baseline, makes it look easy. All of a sudden, he's got nobody around him and everybody's watching him.
He's got so many ways to score with a one-step, 1-foot runner right there in the little hoop. I don't even know what you call that shot, but he's got so many ways, so many things in his arsenal to score.
Udo free, goes to the corner, swings to Dixon, gets inside, tries to go back to Udo. He gets it for the hook shot off the backboard, misses. And Kyle Hines back in for CSKA, gets that rebound. Teodosic in transition, looking for somebody. Finds Vorontsevich. What a pass! A two-hand wraparound pass to Andrei Vorontsevich for the slam. And you just have to know that Milos Teodosic in transition is one of the best passers I've ever seen on a basketball court.
Look at this pass. Not even textbook, because what you don't want to do on a pass like this is jump and come off the floor, and Teodosic says, I'm not even concerned about it. I'm going to go up in the air. Look at this. He draws two men like he's going to shoot the ball. Gives a beautiful bounce pass. And the key to that bounce pass, Frank, was the velocity on it, because it didn't give it a chance to Udo to get over there and make that rotation.
Timeout on the floor after that spectacular play by Milos Teodosic and Andrei Vorontsevich, 27-30. Here we see the insider ref cam once again, and conversation between the players and the refs. Some of the second quarter action or early game action right from the jersey cam. There's the call. There's the traveling call right from the jersey cam.
I thought the ref was doing a little dance right there.
Between quarters, we'll see if he's got the same moves, but that was just a traveling call. And never saw that before from the chest of a referee, because he's wearing a camera tonight. Back for middle of the second quarter action. Fenerbahce down 3 with the ball. Dixon out top. Dixon will pump it from way downtown off the mark. Dekolo with the rebound. Ahead to Korbanov for the slam. Nikita Korbanov making a move and slamming it down.
He saw Kalinic coming from behind. He said, there's no way you're getting this one, my man. I'm throwing this thing down. Goes up, skies over Bobby Dixon, just throws it down.
Bogdanovic inside the Pero Antic, backing down on Korbanov, and he draws the foul. It will be before the shot, I believe, is what the referee indicated.
Better get those 2 free throws anyways.
Oh, baby, look at that on the replay. Korbanov, you're right, and we've seen Kalinic make blocks like that. He was totally going for that block.
You know, as a player, you see Kalinic coming. It doesn't look like he sees him, but he could see him. What a great play right there.
Again, one of the guys we haven't had a chance to mention is Korbanov, but is one of the many who could really affect this game, because Korbanov has started half the time this season for CSKA. He's maybe lesser known than some of his teammates, but he's out there a lot because of his effectiveness on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, defensively, he's a leader in his team. He's so strong on the defensive end, but he's also very effective in the offensive end, especially as we saw getting on the break, getting easy baskets on the fast break.
It was a 5-point lead for CSKA. Antic on that foul gets to the line and makes both, cuts it to 3. Nobody's led by more than 5 in this ball game. 15 minutes through the first half. Teodosic out top. Slukas back in the game. Teodosic gets it to Hines. Swings all the way to Teodosic. 4-3. Great ball movement by CSKA Moscow.
We talked about teamwork and ball movement. That's exactly what that was. That was beautiful. That's unselfish basketball right there.
And now they do have the biggest lead of the game, 6 points. Bogdanovic to Antic, inside to Udo. Dekolo tries to steal it, gets it to Slukas in the lane, drop to Kalinic. There's Dekolo for that disruption. Comes up with the ball this time. Vorontsevich ahead to Hines, but a little too far, and Kalinic gets it back for Fenerbahce.
Great defensive transition right around Fenerbahce. Down 6, you do not want to give up an easy basket on a fast break.
Lob into Udo. Crosses over, gets inside, kicks out to Antic for 3. Off the front of the rim. And we saw some of Fenerbahce's 3-point struggles in the semifinal when they almost let that game get away from them. That makes it 3 for 11 tonight on 3-pointers for Fenerbahce. Whereas CSKA Moscow, if I'm not mistaken, had one of the best three-point percentages in Euroleague history this season.
Yeah, they were #1 in the Euroleague this season in three-point percentage. Like I said before, in the other day, they have 4 guys: Decolo, Teodosic, Voroncevich, and Higgins, who averaged 47% from 3 points. The 4 of them averaging 47%. Those are incredible numbers for the three-point line. Higgins 54, Voroncevich 46, Teodosic 42, and Decolo 46.
Here we're seeing some of the seriously physical action we've seen, not even in the first part of this half. Bodies hitting the floor and lots of heavy hits.
What it's all about, man. Nothing for free out here.
It's one of the staples of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague. It's a very, very physical game. And it's very difficult to score easily when defenders are putting their body on you, like you see up and down the court in this competition.
Yeah, we've seen it for years, especially with teams like Olympiacos who love to do that. They love to play that type of physical basketball game. They're pretty much branded as that type of team. And it's amazing throughout the years as they change coaches and change personnel, change owners, whatever, they always seem to keep that same attitude. And it looks like Fenerbahce is trying to play that way also, but CSKA's right there. I'm very surprised at the physicality.
It's contagious when you win back-to-back titles like Olympiacos did for a couple of years.
Exactly.
And went to another final as well. So, Corey Higgins back in the game for CSKA. He keeps the dribble alive, gets it to Teodosic, who goes to Decolo inside the Hines, blocked, or no, fouled by Kalinic. A great reaction by Kalinic, great pass by Teodosic, of course.
Boy, but let me tell you something. Look at this. Decolo, look at this. I mean, there's not much room there. He's threading needles right there to get that ball into there. I continue to say it. He's so far ahead of everybody else on the court. This pass is the beautiful pass. I thought Hines was going to go up and dunk on somebody right there.
I think he was kind of receiving halfway behind him. He might have been surprised by the pass. I've talked to Teodosic's teammates over the years, and they say, you really have to adjust because you have to be ready at any moment. He sees passes that you don't even see as a receiver until it's developed, and you got to be, basically, as soon as you turn, you got to be looking for a pass from him. Some guys get hit in the back with passes before they realize what's going on.
Frank, I had that experience playing with the great Arvidas Sabonis in Madrid, where when I started practice with him, he hit me in the back of the head twice with passes, and I'm like, I like this guy. He keep hitting me in the head. I'm going to eventually see him.
CSKA has taken control of the scoreboard, 8-point lead with about 3:30 left to play in the first half. Datome cross court to Slukas, but a foul inside.
Well, they had Decolo fighting with Udo down there, down low. Decolo picks up his second foul. Still got 3:30 left. Gonna be interesting to see what Itunes does here the last 3:30. Do you pull him out, protect him from that third foul or not? But I think Fenerbahce should have gotten that ball to Udo a little bit quicker if they could have, but they did pick up the foul on Decolo.
And Udo goes to the free throw line.
Well, Udo's struggling tonight. He really needs to get into this game a little bit offensively for his team.
He's not a bad free throw shooter, 77% this season.
Here's a switch to Tommy, just couldn't get him the ball there.
And that one rattles around and goes in for Epe Udo.
That cried its way in right there. He was happy to see that one go in.
It's a 30-37 scoreboard in favor of CSKA.
And we haven't seen Vesely in a while either in this game. He played those first 10, 11 minutes. And he's just got back into the game now. So let's see what he's coming off the bench in the last 3 minutes. See what he can do.
Corey Higgins draws 2 defenders, goes to Teodosic. The ball just ping-pongs to Decolo for a three-pointer. The CSKA Moscow is on game so far in this Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game. Biggest lead, 10 points.
These are just a couple beautiful looking offensive plays, teamwork. They're playing offensive foul on Vesely.
Vesely called for hooking on the offensive foul. That's his first, but an inopportune turnover. You see first the guy's elbow up, and then the referee saw the hand around Andre Voroncevich and called.
Look at the teamwork, though, by CSKA. It's just amazing.
How do you defend that when a ball ping-pongs so quickly to 3 players or 4 players?
It's one of my biggest things in basketball these days is you have to be able to pass the ball quickly because defenses are so quick, especially off the dribble.
Higgins loose for the slam. Corey Higgins taking advantage of a defensive breakdown, and CSKA Moscow roaring ahead on the scoreboard by 12 points now with 2:50 left in the first half. And
Higgins
a
turns
big
the corner.
move by CSKA. Everybody's involved.
Turns the corner on the Tommy right here and sees no help. Collins has Lucas has it back to the ball, chasing his man, not seeing the help. Higgins just goes to the hoop and says, you know what? I'm throwing this one down. There's no way you're getting this one on me.
One of the best, let me see, I think it's the best shot blocking team in the Euroleague this season was Fenerbahce Istanbul, but they have 0 blocks right now against CSKA in this first half. They average more than 4 a game, and I think you're gonna have to see them stopping somebody at the rim. Here's Nicolos, amazing first game of this Final Four in the semifinal on Friday, and here we see some of his shots tonight. But in that semifinal on Friday, never in a do-or-die game at the Final Four has anybody scored 30 points before, only in the third place game, which doesn't get you anywhere.
He puts on a show, but he does it so quietly sometimes. It's so smooth because it's not a selfish way of him scoring 30 points. A lot of people go out and take a lot of shots to get to that 30-point mark, but he does it so unselfishly, I should say. He gives the ball up, gets other people involved, and scores when he knows that he's got the advantage.
Teodosic is the leading scorer in this game with 10 points in his 13 minutes on the floor. Corey Higgins behind him for CSKA with 8. Warren Savage and Nicolos 7, just the kind of balance you want. And Luigi Datome, who had 8 quick points in the first quarter, still stuck on those 8 points, and nobody higher than him for Fenerbahce. And 30 points with 2:50 left in the second quarter, also a testimony to CSKA's defense.
They're really playing great defense. I haven't seen CSKA play this great a defense all season long.
Speaking of defenders, Aaron Jackson in the ball game. He's a defensive specialist for CSKA. He gets called right away for grabbing Jan Vesely on the switch, so he gets a foul that will put Vesely on the free throw line. Not his favorite place either, Jan Vesely, under 50% this year, right around 49.
It's not one of his specialties, that's for sure, going to the line. It's a little quick on the line all the time, steps in a little bit too quick. There's probably a bunch of things he could work on, but it's always been an Achilles heel for him.
And there's the evidence right there. First one misses, second one doesn't touch the rim.
I was going to say something about that. When the first one goes long, usually the second one is a little bit short. I just didn't expect it to be that short. He's got to get himself in the game. They really need these two big men. Vesely and Udo are so important to this team because everybody revolves around their interior play. They need to get into this game somehow or another.
Not only that, before the game there was much talk about Fenerbahce having the advantage in the front court while CSKA may have had it in the back court. But right now, CSKA's doing it all over the court. Higgins tries to go again. This time, Slukas bumps into him and gets called for the foul.
Yeah, you can't complain too much about that. It's a pretty good call here by the referee. Slukas goes in with that left hand. What he should be doing is going in with the right hand. As soon as you use that left hand, you cross the body, you make any type of contact, it's almost an automatic call by a referee. Even if you get a clean steal at it, you're still making a lot of contact with your opposite shoulder.
Great first step by Corey Higgins after last time he ended up with a dunk. This time he goes to the free throw line. And he hits it, make CSKA 9 for 9 from the free throw line so far in this game.
CSKA's averaging 90 points, almost 91 points a game in this EuroLeague season. And they're right there on that number, if not more, depending on how these last 2:28 of this first half go. But man, they look good on both ends of the court right now.
Bogdanovic fakes, gets turned back along the baseline by Higgins. And we get an intentional foul called on CSKA's Dimitri Kuligin, who just came in the game and doesn't play very often. So some sort of tactical move here by.
Why not this smart?
There you see, you can't wrap the guy up like that. And even though Vesely's not a great free throw shooter. It still creates the potential of a 5-point possession.
Well, I got a thing with it. It almost looked like a little bit of a hack-a-shack thing right there. Knowing that Vesely's not shooting over the foul line, it's okay. Maybe you want to send the guy in that's not playing that much to foul him, so he goes to the foul line and misses. But what you don't want to do is get the intentional foul call so that you're giving the ball back to the team, to Fenerbahce. But I mean, are they trying a hack-a-shack thing? That's my biggest question right here.
He's now 0 for 5 at the free throw line.
I mean, it works.
Get the ball back quick.
Yeah,
but not if you make it intentional and they get not only the shots but the possession.
There's teams that do that sometimes, but you just can't give up that intentional foul and give up the possession.
Tactical move, basically, by Dimitris Itoudis, the CSKA head coach.
You got to make people make their foul shots. If they can't make their foul shots in big games, then you got to put them on the line as much as you can.
Hooligan stays in. Now he's guarding Udo. Ball swings to Bogdanovic for 3, misses. And Vorontsevich comes up with a rebound. 3 for 12 now from downtown for Fenerbahce. Hard to come back from this kind of lead with that kind of shooting. Here goes Higgins again. He goes to Hines, finishes at the rim. It's a 16-point lead. CSKA Moscow is trying to take control of this game before halftime. They have control, but trying to take it in to halftime with a huge statement.
Way too much space for CSKA to operate. There's so much room. They're coming off picks and seeing nothing but open floor. There's nobody helping on defense.
Udo to Cooligan. Udo against Cooligan to Datome to Dixon. He's got to shoot up a late shot. Great defense by CSKA. And the 24-second violation.
Boy, CSKA's bench, you're watching their bench, they're more excited about their defense than they are about their offense, and that's not normal. Let me tell you something. They are playing some great defense. 30 points in this Fenerbahce team in the first half.
We just saw Cooligan, Dimitri Cooligan, come on court and play for, he's a little under 2 meters and challenge the two big men for Fenerbahce and do 2 or 3 defenses and get away clean. No points for them. Big tactical move.
Itoudis is on his game. Let me tell you something. I love
that is a surprise. That was a surprise.
I love what he's doing defensively. He did it the other day. He did it the other day also against Lokomotiv. A lot of changes, a little bit of a zone matchup, and it looks great. I mean, and obviously it's working. 30 points here. Only 10 points in the second quarter for Fenerbahce.
And obviously, to go back to one of the main themes of this game is the coaching relationship between Dimitris Itoudis of Moscow and Joko Obradovic. I mean, they both refer to each other as big brother, little brother, because they were together by 13 years. And there we see some of the lobs from the semifinal between his teammates and Jan Vesely.
We haven't seen any of that tonight, though, Frank.
And we have not seen any of that tonight. We see frustration on the face of Jan Vesely, who has just 2 points in almost 13 minutes on the floor. Just 2 rebounds as well. Who can dominate, but they have to create the situations a little bit for him.
You can't get frustrated. To me, Vesely is a leader of this team. We see him do so many things on the bench with his teammates. We see him pump up the crowd after dunks. We see him get into the crowd when they need a big defensive play. He's the leader of this team. You can't let the rest of the team see him getting upset with whatever, with himself or with his teammates or whatever. He has to stay focused in this game. He's going to be real important this team in the second half. Keep your focus, keep playing basketball. It'll come back to you.
There's Teodosic, Hines, Jackson, Higgins, and Vorontsevich on the floor for CSKA, trying to close out a fantastic second quarter for them. Hines will take the ball across half court. He gets loose inside, but kicks out to Vorontsevich, who saves the pass. 9 on the shot clock, driving on Antic, spins on him and goes off the backboard. Andrei Vorontsevich came to play. He's up to 9 points.
The individual man-to-man defense of Fenerbahce is letting them down tonight. Every time they get a one-on-one matchup, they're taking advantage of it.
10-26 for CSKA so far in this second quarter. Bogdanovic misses. Teodosic comes up the rebound. This is a kind of blast that can last because now Fenerbahce has to make up so many points in the second half. 34 seconds left in this one. Teodosic trying to throw the knife in, I'm sure, right now. 7 on the shot clock. Backdoor to Aaron Jackson, what a pass, what a cut, and what a lead. 20 points for CSKA Moscow. 16 seconds on the clock here in the second quarter.
This is just an exhibition on both sides of the floor right now for CSKA.
Bobby Dixon gets it to Bogdanovic from way downtown. That miss is too deep. Goran Sevic doesn't get, well, I was waiting to see if it went in. I'm not sure if he got it off. That would have been the icing on the cake, but they don't need the icing on the cake, CSKA Moscow. They have just ripped off an incredible second quarter.
Wow.
It was 20-22 in favor of CSKA after one. So it's been 20 to 38. Sorry, 10 to 28 in the second quarter for CSKA Moscow, and you don't see those kind of breaks in these kind of games. We're going to talk to a couple of protagonists, starting with Luigi Datome of Fenerbahce Istanbul, as his team's down 20 at halftime.
Gigi, you started out well. You yourself at 8 points, you were up, but it's been all CSKA since then. How did you see the first half?
Yeah, for sure, second quarter they took over. Definitely had to play better offense indeed. 20 points in one quarter basically is too much. But game's not over yet to think point by point, action by action. It's still a long way.
Thank you, good luck.
There we heard from Luigi Datome. Now we're going to hear in just a second from one of the protagonists for CSKA Moscow. As they took off, it will be Milos Teodosic talking to Jiri Zizek.
Milos, we are almost speechless. This was almost a perfect first half. What is your take on it?
We play one great half, and we show all our character and all our wish and desire to win this game in defense, and we need to keep and play second half that way. And okay, just 20 minutes finish, and we have 20 more minutes.
Well, keep it up in the second half.
Thank you so much.
There we heard from Milos Teodosic. Incredible passing for him in the first half, an incredible game all around for him and his teammates. He's leading CSKA with 10 points and assists, and Dicolo has 5 of them for his team. Teodosic, of course, has 3 incredible ones. It looks like he doesn't make an ordinary assist. It has to be, and that creates something out of nothing sometimes when a defense thinks they have absolutely stopped another team. All of a sudden, Teodosic is wrapping around, two-handed passes and finding baskets where nobody could see him but him.
You know, Dicolo is not the MVP of this European league, this European season, because of the amount of points he scores per game. And that's even as he's #1 in the league in scoring this year. But it's the way he gets everybody involved. He may only have 7 points at halftime, but we talked about the 5 assists. He's getting everybody else involved. It makes him so dangerous. And a couple of those assists, they didn't even not assist because he found an open man who found another open man. So the assist doesn't go to him, but his unselfishness got other people involved.
Again, we're back at halftime where CSKA Moscow leads Fenerbahce 30-50. 20-point lead at halftime in a Final Four, but I'll remind you, in 2009 in Berlin, when these same 2 coaches were on the Panathinaikos bench, they were up 23 early in the second half. I think it was the first shot of the second half against CSKA, and then it came down to 1 shot that game. Let's talk to CSKA head coach Dimitrios Atoutis here at halftime.
Coach, and almost a perfect first half. You completely took over in the second quarter. Tell us, what did you talk to your team about in the locker room?
I just told them that, exactly like you said, that this is just the first half. We're going to be very stupid if we think that the game is over. We know that we have against us a great opponent and a great coach that is going to go on them, so they're going to pressure. But the fact that we have established a good game
overall in both quarters. And the fact that we did not turn over the ball that much against a very aggressive defense, that gave us also the lead. So those facts, plus the thing and the fact that we did not give them so many offensive boards, just 3 with a team that is playing a big lineup. We need to continue like that. It's just a half time. This game for us is 0-0.
You have been active and you have been a step faster on every defensive rotation. What will be the main defensive focus for the second half?
Listen, we play several defenses, as you've seen. From man-to-man, pure, we play switches, we play matchups. I mean, we gotta try to change the rhythm on their great ball creators. So I think that we managed to contest most of their shots. Therefore, you see such a numbers on beyond the arch, their percentage.
Good luck in the second half. Thank you.
Thank you.
There we heard from Dimitris Itoudis, head coach of CSKA Moscow, with his team ahead by 20 points over Fenerbahce Istanbul at halftime, and against his former boss, really, and good friend, Coach Jelko Obradovic, who we are going to hear from now about what he plans for Fenerbahce to come back.
Coach, it was a difficult first half for you. What was the main point that you spoke to your team in the locker room?
We play very bad defense. We are absolutely out of concentration. They score many easy points. We don't even know situation that is peak between 2 guards, how to play defense. It's amazing.
How do you plan to get your inside game involved?
I hope that we will play with more character and more smart. This is it.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Turkish Airlines, Doge Group, Spalding, Intersport, and Turkey Home, official global sponsors of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague.
We come back to Mercedes-Benz Arena in Berlin, Germany. Halftime of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game, and it's been pretty much all CSKA Moscow leading by 20 over Fenerbahce at halftime. But as I was saying, as one of the interviews came up, and as we look at the spectacular assists in the first half, or during the season and during hopefully the Final Four by Teodosic, I mean, he's just an amazing player in terms of seeing the game. As we saw, here's the 3 today. He only has 3. That created something out of nothing. And we saw him finish the end of the half with another one. He had one in between. It was almost as nice. With a minute left until the start of the second half, Joe. I want to remind people that on this floor in the 2009 final, Panathinaikos leading by 23 shortly after halftime. It came down to the last shot, and both of these men were on the Panathinaikos bench. They won it. They are very much aware that this game is far from over.
Frank, you and I have done enough games together, and I've seen enough EuroLeague games in my lifetime to know that this game is not over. I'm going to tell you right now.
Olympiacos 19 down 19 with 11 minutes to play against CSKA and won the title in 2012.
Maccabi in 2014 in the semifinal also down, I think, 12 or 13.
8 points in 3 minutes.
8 points in 3 minutes. So this game's never over, but I will say one thing. The statement moment is right now for both teams. In these first 3 minutes, you have to show, number one, CSKA. If you're CSKA, you have to show that you're here to win this game. You're not going to want to blow it. These first 3 minutes are important. They don't want to have a letdown. They want to continue that momentum they have. And if you're Fenerbahce, you need to go after it. This is it. This is your last 20 minutes. You need to go all out.
There you saw CSKA President Andrei Vatutin pacing at halftime. He's not thinking anything's over, that's for sure. Just like his head coach Dimitris Itoudis told his players. Higgins will start the first offense for CSKA. And Teodosic out there starting the second half. Goes inside Kyle Hines. Higgins gets it over to Voran Sevic. He's been good all game. That one rolls out, and Vesely comes up with a rebound and gets a little push by Kyle Hines as he does it. So a foul on Kyle Hines.
And it's just little things like that could change games. That beautiful looking three-pointer almost went in, rattled in and out. But that's a huge play for Fenerbahce. They get a basket here, because right now you got to think about a point a minute. That's what you're thinking about in your head. A point a minute, you have to beat the other team by.
Bogdanovic to Slukas. Goes in the corner to Kalinic, inside to Vesely, and a nice quick reaction by Vesely to make the reverse. Nice start for Fenerbahce. Pressure on the inbounds from Fenerbahçe just gets it across half court, does Dekolo before the 8-second violation. Voroncevic, ball tapped away by Kalinic.
This is it, a stop in a basket. A stop in a basket is what you're looking for. That's what's going to get you back into the game. And not only is that going to get you back in the game, you're going to try to create doubts in the mind of CSKA.
You see the handoff and the ball touch the end line. Kalinic, knowing his team needs every break they can get, praying for and getting that call. Foul by Slukas. Foul on Teodosic, drawn by Slukas, I should say. Fenerbahce inbounds to Bogdanovic. They have the first basket of the second half. They go back inside to Vesely. He kicks out to Slukas, comes out and gives him a screen. Slukas to Kalinic in close off the front of the rim. And in there fighting for the rebound. Kyle Hines picked up by Mondo Dekolo. Teodosic goes around Vesely, gets inside, goes to Hines, gets the basket and is fouled. Talk about threading the needle. Surrounded by defenders. The ball got through and Hines got it up.
How does Hines get this up? There's arms everywhere.
First the pass and then the shot. You can't imagine there's any space between all those people.
And Vesely is huge. He's long. I mean, I don't know how that ball got through there, but Hines makes a great play for an and one.
Hines makes the three-point play and gives CSKA's biggest lead to the ball game, 21 points.
They get the Colo there for the blocking foul.
If I'm not mistaken, that will be the third foul on the Colo.
He's trying to pick up the offensive foul there on Bogdanovic coming off the pick. Not a bad looking play. When you got two fouls, you got to be a little bit careful. But when you're up 22 or you're up 21, you have the luxury to maybe be able to do that. Even if Duel thought that was an offensive foul.
Dekolo stays out there with 3 fouls. Although Kurbanov has come up, stood up off the bench. Bogdanovic. Sorry. Vesely inside. Blocked by Voroncevic. Vesely came up with the ball, but was on the end line, so huge play by Andre Voroncevic, not known for his shot blocking, but look at this.
But gets up and reads it perfectly, times it perfectly. Vesely waited a little bit to release that ball. Usually Vesely likes to get rid of that ball quickly on the way up. This time he waits.
Look at that timing by Voroncevic. Doesn't have the
and look at
really
him.
Leap.
Look at him saying, "Get that out of here! Don't bring that into my house."
And Vesely ended up on the floor, got the ball, but was touching the end line. Turns into a turnover for Fenerbahce, and everybody making big plays for CSKA. Higgins trying to get across half court, almost doesn't. And it is an 8-second violation for CSKA turnover.
They're saying that the ball was touched, I think, over the half court line, but I don't think they're going to get away with that one.
It's an 8-second violation. It's Fenerbahce ball. With a lot, they've been pressuring in the backcourt throughout the first part of this third quarter, and they got a couple out of it so far. They got a couple. This is a turnover in this case.
He just mentioned it in George's interview with him. He knew that they're going to be pressured full court, but a lot more pressure on their offense right now.
Gatome inside to Bogdanovic, posting up Aaron Jackson, goes right off the backboard with a quick turn. Gets the lead down, gets the difference down to 19. Jackson has committed a turnover.
Called a double dribble there.
Which is hard to see from where we are.
Looked like they called a double dribble on this play right here. Picks it up.
Yeah, got his hand under the ball.
That's the old school carry.
Yeah, got his hand under the ball, and you can't do that and dribble it again. Matome out top, shoots for three, in and out for him, but Vesely for the rebound, puts it in.
And you saw how quickly Vesely got that one up that time. He's like, I'm not getting this one blocked again. That's what I was talking about before. He loves to get that ball quick and get it up. The Fenerbahce is starting to feel a little bit here.
Turnover by CSKA.
Yep. Getting the crowd back in the game.
Fenerbahce's full court pressure is paying off, and it's giving them also some activating their offense as well. Decolo, that's the third foul of Decolo becomes important because they had to get him off court, and now the pressure defense can concentrate on keeping the ball out of Teodosic's hands.
They knew it was coming. He just talked about it at halftime. He knew this pressure was coming. Now how are they going to handle it?
Vesely hands off to Slukas. Gets it to Bogdanovic, guarded by Jackson. Inside to Vesely. On the mismatch, his pass is picked off by Voroncevic.
Boy, if you're Vesely, you got to take that. You got Teodosic on you. You've already been playing well. You have to take that. Be more aggressive offensively. Make a defensive man come to you before you try to make that pass.
Jackson now on the wing, 9 on the shot clock. Looking inside for Voroncevic on the mismatch with Slukas. It'll be Jackson firing from deep off the mark, but Voroncevic doesn't get the rebound.
Great look.
Comes up with it. But a foul committed to stop that break.
Little fan problems here. What a great look by Collins. I can't believe it. It's a shame they called that foul because they really could have got an easy basket out. I think it was Slukas that was out in a fast break.
Fans getting into the spirit of things there on the
sideline.
sideline.
Game, man, Frank. A little too close to the game.
That's what a transition foul can generate in terms of emotions in a Turkish Airlines Euroleague Championship game.
It's a little contact, man. I think there'll be comments of one of the fans in the front row. And something we can't have in basketball. You can't have anything making contact with players. Fans have to stay in their spot. Starting to heat up even more now.
Waiting to get back in the action as some of the fans getting a little too into the game. See the foul by Kalinic. As a fan touched Nikola Kalinic as he was going out of bounds.
We got to calm this down. Come on, the protagonists are the players. We have to get this game back to playing. Sit everybody down, get everybody relaxed, kick people out. If you need to kick people out, we don't. If you got a front row seat, no big deal.
Things are getting back under control. We'll get back to action. 36-53 advantage for CSKA Moscow as the timeout comes on the floor. We look at some of the views of that particular incident. Was this Kalinic somehow drifting off the floor himself because he was a couple meters in when the foul was committed to stop the break.
I'll tell you one thing, though. I'll tell you what this did. It broke a little bit of the momentum for Fenerbahce. Fenerbahce had a couple steals, got a couple easy baskets. We're going on that fast break. This whole play kind of broke the momentum for them. They need to come out and pick it up.
And we will resume action here early in the third quarter. Still 6:36 to play in this third quarter. It was a 20-point lead at halftime for CSKA. It's been cut to 17 through the first 3.5 minutes. And it'll be Fenerbahce ball with a chance to cut it a little further as Slukas has the ball out top. Pavel Korobkov in the game for CSKA, and the pass sails out of bounds, but Korobkov called for kind of bumping into Vesely at the moment the pass was arriving.
Fifth foul there. CSKA 2 shots now in the last 6 minutes of this third quarter for Fenerbahce, but we do have Vesely in the line who's 0 for 4 tonight. So he's going to have to shake that 0 for 4 and try to drop a couple areas. It's real important to his team. He's going down 17. Get themselves back into this game. Every point counts right now for Fenerbahce.
Vesely 0 for 4 at the free throw line so far tonight. This is his 5th. Let's reset the lineups. Dekolo comes back in with 3 fouls for CSKA. Kyle Hines, Teodosic, Kordobanov, and Jackson. And it's Lukas Bogdanovic, Vesely, Kalinic, and Datome for Fenerbahce. So basically 3 point guards on the floor for CSKA to deal with the pressure that Fenerbahce has been putting up. Small ball indeed. I think Kordobanov about 2 meters, 2 or 3 is the tallest guy on the court for CSKA. Kordobanov goes back to Dekolo. He'll shoot it from 3 and miss everything. Good defense again by Fenerbahce.
Yeah, great defense. Fenerbahce is still keeping up the defensive intensity. Vesely there on Dekolo. Getting on him. Dekolo asking for the foul, of course.
A little slow developing that play. Had to shoot it probably when he didn't want to. Slukas driving. Whips a pass around to Datome, open on the wing. Can't get the shot to drop.
That's a good call here by the referee. Kyle Hines using his body to keep Vesely off the boards. Maybe push him a little bit too much, but what a great play by Slukas to find Datome. Great shot by Datome right there for the 3. Gotta take that shot.
And that's the 3rd foul on Kyle Hines.
You're gonna see that right there, the push.
Yeah, you saw the 2-hand push, which you don't see Kyle Hines needing to do very
yeah,
often.
With that body, all you gotta do is dig your shoulder into the middle of Vesely's chest, and that's gonna move him itself.
We have a timeout on the floor, 36-53.
That the referees will not show sympathy to us, but to them because of the defense. So,
we see our insider ref cam. Some of the conversation on the sideline between the refs and the officials at the game table, and of course the coaches, and some of the bird's eye view from the referees themselves of the action. Something it's hard to find anywhere else. It's just fascinating close-up view of some of the interaction between the protagonists on the court and on the sidelines that we can see throughout the Final Four. But as we come back, Fenerbahce fighting to get back in this game, and they've taken a couple steps in the right direction with their full-court pressure, kind of breaking. I mean, CSKA could do no wrong in the 2nd quarter, and in this 3rd quarter, it's been a struggle. They've only got 3 points to 6 for Fenerbahce, but more than that, Fenerbahce has slowed the game down and turned it into a defensive struggle when CSKA scored 50 points in the 1st half, simply put.
And they need to put points on the board. Here we got Vesely at the line again, 0 for 6. He's got to make his shot, and he's not making it. Teammates are giving him 5, trying to get him in the game, but this is so important for this team because they're playing so hard defensively, and they're getting the turnovers, they're getting the missed shots, and they're getting the rebounds, but they're not converting on the other end.
Cannot buy a free throw. Jan Vesely, 0 for 8 now. Teodosic with Dekolo and Jackson, so 3 ball handlers on the floor. Dekolo loses the ball, but he was fouled by Vesely. He commits his 2nd. He's still moving.
Bogdanovic is staying with him, though. He knows that he's his big man right now. He's got to keep him in the game.
2nd foul on Vesely. And as you said, George, at the top of this half, these first minutes of the 2nd half, which are proving very tough, are about Fenerbahce trying to take this game to a physical level and take that smooth, incredible offense of CSKA away.
They've held them to 3 points in 5 minutes, but they haven't been able to chip away at the lead. They've only been able to chip away, get down 3 points into 17, and that's been the problem. 4 missed fouls, and this Teodosic
for 3. It's fouled by Slukas. It's a 3rd foul on this possession by Fenerbahce, and this puts a really good free throw shooter on the line, Milos Teodosic.
And this is where these are the plays that really hurt you now, because you're putting a free throw shooter like Teodosic on the line to shoot 3. You fought so hard in these 5 minutes the whole night. You're going to give up 3 easy points from the line from Teodosic. If he makes it, he missed the first one for him.
It's contagious. That's the first miss of the game, however, for CSKA. They were 11 for 11 before Teodosic missed that one. makes the second. Teodosic for the season, 88%, so.
Fenerbahce have to keep up this defensive intensity. They're going to have to get some scores if they can, easy scores, and put that full-court pressure and see if they can create some more turnovers.
2 out of 3 for Teodosic. Gets the lead back to 19, so it's kind of a wash for the first 5 minutes here.
And you played your best basketball defensively in 5 minutes, and you haven't been able to create anything offensively.
Teodosic gets caught up in the screen by Vesely and commits a foul. And prevents a possible three-point play. Three-point shot in favor of putting Vesely on the free throw line. This is obviously a tactic since we saw little used Dimitri Kuligin come in the game end of the first half and foul Vesely, who is now 0 for 9 at the free throw line. This is great scouting and great tactic. Face it, if it was anybody else on the free throw line, Fenerbahce would be 5-6 points better at this moment than they are.
You're talking a game being under 15 points and be a little bit more manageable and reachable.
They're just not letting Vesely get the ball anywhere near the basket where he dunks it and is about 100%. But I think that block by Vorontsevich was also a real key play here in the second half and just showed that the defense of CSKA would not rest and will do anything they can to keep Fenerbahce from getting back in this. Now an 18-point game. Dekolo off 1 foot, misses everything. And the ball comes to Datome. Bogdanovic on the run. Looking for Slukas. In and out for Slukas. Rebounded by Kurbanov. 3 for 17, if that would count as a three-pointer. I don't know if his foot was on the line. Teodosic trying to answer. Hits the front of the rim. And that's out of bounds. A lot of, for all the great offense we saw by CSKA in the beginning of the game, really disjointed, let's say, attempts at the basket now.
Fenerbahce is kind of taking them out of the game, but you have to expect the team's going to die down a little bit. They're not going to play that high-paced offense throughout the whole game. They're going to have their low points, and that's their low point. But it's such a shame. It's so hard to watch a guy like Vesely shoot 1 for 10 from the foul line. He's doing so many things for his team on the defensive end. He's contributing so much. And to watch him go 1 for 10 is frustrating for him. It's difficult to watch from our viewpoint also.
Into the game for Fenerbahce, Pregame, but as Bogdanovic to the rim gets interrupted by Victor Kriapa, who came in the game for CSKA. Also in the game, Epe Udo for Fenerbahce. Dekolo between his legs 3 times, goes around Udo. And the foul is called on Epe Udo. And that will put Nando Dekolo on the free throw line. There you see the hook by Udo.
You put Mr. Dekolo on the line, a 90% free throw shooter.
One of the best in the business, Nando Dekolo. Knocks down the three-pointer.
It's been such a tough struggle for Fenerbahce up to now. And right now, Dekolo makes his free throw. It's right back to that 20-point lead that we saw at the end of the second quarter.
6th ranked free throw shooter this season with over 90%. Misses that one, however, Dekolo. The lead is now back to 19. Slukas inside, up and under, and we saw him do that, just fade the semifinal and send it to overtime for Fenerbahce with his driving layup. He's a big game player and there's plenty of time left. Teodosic's gone back to the free throw line. He's an expert at drawing fouls.
It's so hard because you want to be aggressive defensively here. You want to try to cause turnovers, but you can't foul guys like Dekolo and like Teodosic. The guys are hitting 88 to 90% free throw percentage. You can't get them to the line and let them accumulate points with the clock stop.
And of course, those kind of guys are very good at drawing fouls as well. And Teodosic hits the first of 2. They were first in the league at drawing fouls, CSKA Moscow this season. Average of 23 per game they shoot. And Teodosic makes both. keeps that lead hovering around right what it was at halftime. It was 20 at halftime. It's 19 now. And even though you'd say that Fenerbahce has played better, it's still mission accomplished kind of thing for CSKA as they take the steal away from Udo, who just couldn't handle the pass.
That was a beautiful play, and that's a play that Udo likes to get, cut down the middle. Just never got his hands on the ball there.
Niccolo driving the one-hander off the backboard past the shot blocker. Smooth as you like by Nando Niccolo. And back to a 21-point lead, matching the high of the game.
He extends his body so well from so far away from the basket and gets that ball laid up.
Lucas in the corner to Bobby Dixon, kicks it to Pedro Antic for three. Finally, a three-pointer goes down for Fenerbahce. They needed an answer right then, and Pedro Antic gave it to him. Kriapa bringing it across half court to Teodosic.
Barely got that across half court too, right at the 16-second mark.
Teodosic, step back three for him. On the mark, Milos Teodosic, answering Pedro Antic. And he's our top scorer with 17 points in this game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Teodosic. Lucas, another reverse, and gets the foul, splitting and going through the entire defense of CSKA.
Let me tell you something about Slukas, right? He is not giving up. He doesn't care what happens. He's going to the basket every time. Look at this smooth hang time, using his body, the English on the ball off the backboard, putting it in, drawing the foul, getting the foul shot. He's not going to give up. He's trying to get his team motivated. He's been here before. He's got a lot of experience.
This man was on the floor when Olympiacos came back from 19 down with 11 minutes to play to win this title in 2012 against CSKA. So he knows what it's like to come back from this deficit, as does Pedro Antic, the guy who scored the last one. So 2 3-point plays by those former champions. Suddenly cuts the difference to 18 again.
They can get this in his last 2 minutes down underneath that 15-point mark. They can start putting a little bit of doubts in Cesca's head. But they got to keep doing it on the defensive side.
Niccolo to Higgins is now in the game. Looking inside for Kordopkov. He has the advantage. The ball shot finally by Corbinov, but not near the basket. Bobby Dixon comes up with the rebound, brings it across half court. Lucas to Udo, inside to Antic, foul from behind by Niccolo, gets his 4th foul.
Number 4 on Niccolo right there. Beautiful play by Udo, looking for Antic down low. Sorry. Read the beautiful high-low there with Higgins on Antic down there.
And there you see Niccolo grabbing the arm of Pedro Antic. So 4 fouls with 11.5 minutes left in this game for the MVP of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague and the top scorer this season. Means that CSKA is going to have to do it the hard way.
And they struggled a little bit with him earlier in this third quarter on the bench, getting over that half court with the pressure by Fenerbahce. But Fenerbahce has to keep that pressure up. It's hard to do for the last 20 minutes of this game, but this is it. This is all they have left. They got 11 minutes and 49 seconds left in their EuroLeague season.
Antic hits the first of his 2 free throws and makes the second one good as well.
And here's the full court pressure. Everybody's up, even Antic is up. Oh.
16-point lead for CSKA as Bobby Dixon gets called for tripping Aaron Jackson, who will walk the other way and take 2 free throws as well. Been a very long third quarter, which plays into the hands of Fenerbahce. I couldn't tell myself what happened there.
Big mess in there, but Aaron Jackson only 63% free throw shooter this season.
Makes that one, Aaron Jackson does. Doesn't get the free throw line an awful lot. But if he can make 2 here, as we see Warren Savage come back on the floor. So he makes both, and CSKA playing with 2 power forwards against 2 bigger guys of Fenerbahce, Udo and Antic. Victor Kriapa on the switch has Lucas. Lucas stops and pops from deep, misses. People flying for the rebound. Let's see who the foul is called on.
we could talk about Teodosic's game. His 17 points, Nicolo is 10 points, and his is 6 assists and everything they're doing. We talk about MVPs and everything. But this guy that we see on the screen right now, Itutis, is amazing. He's done some things in his Final Four, changing defense. He talked about it at halftime that have just been amazing. The way he's matching up, the way he has his team so prepared to switch. And when they do switch, everybody's aware of how to rotate. When there's a little man with a big man, a big man with a little man. It's well-coached team right now in this Final Four.
Antic misses the first of his 2 free throws now. That's 15 for 27 as a team. Fenerbahce shooting more at the free throw line, but actually making fewer than CSKA Moscow's 18 for 20. Makes the second one. 17-point lead. Minute 32 left in the third quarter. Aaron Jackson facing the pressure, gets across half court to Higgins.
Want to get a couple stops here if you can. Finish out this quarter strong for Fenerbahce. Give yourself some confidence going into the fourth quarter.
Well, Savage swings it to Kordobanov. Back to Victor Griapa. Inside to Jackson on the back door. Makes a layup. Great look by Griapa. Great cut by Jackson. Lead back up to 19.
What a great look by Griapa from the top of the key. It looked like he wanted to shoot that ball. Saw Jackson cut into the basket. Made a beautiful dish.
Bobby Dixon shadowed by Aaron Jackson. Slukas inside to Udo. Double team. Gets it out to Dixon. For 3 on the mark. Bobby Dixon keeping Fenerbahce from falling more behind.
40 seconds here, Frank. This is huge right now for Fenerbahce to get a stop. If they get a stop, another 2 or 3 points in this, going into this fourth quarter, gives them momentum. It's going to bring their fans back into it also.
Jackson guarded by Udo on the switch. Goes around him, gets inside, hands off to Goran Sevic, and he's fouled from behind. Another thread the needle pass between 2 defenders. CSKA has made a habit of that in this game, and that's one way to avoid the shot blockers.
The problem with the passes is the fact that the guards, Aaron Jackson, they're getting to the basket too easily. It's what Zelko talked about earlier in the first half, was they're letting people get to the basket too quickly, too easily. When they do that, what happens is the defense has to converge, which leaves the other big men open. They were lucky right there they didn't get an and one.
That puts Andre Vorontsevich on the free throw line. Not almost a better three-point shooter than free throw shooter.
Not that first one though. 21 seconds.
Makes 2. Vorontsevich gets the lead back up to 18. With 20 seconds left in the third quarter. Slukas across half court. Gives it to Dixon, gets it back. Looking inside for Udo.
Well, they have not given Udo anything down low. He has struggled all night long. They've done such a great job being physical, because he's a very physical player offensively, and they have come right back at him. They've used their physicality to keep him away from the basket, not give him good looks.
Udo got his own rebound, however, and got fouled by Griapa and going to the free throw line. But there you see it, just 2 points for the night for Epe Udo, who averages 12, I believe, for the season, 12.5, but was even bigger than that in the playoffs, as you recall, both on offense and defense. When Vesely was injured, he just...
Udo's 4 points, Frank, are off on the foul line. He hasn't converted a shot yet. He's only taken 3 in this game. They're just not giving him anything. He's not seeing the basket at all. Again, I'm going back to Itutis being the MVP for this team. He's done a great job of coaching. Every time that Vesely and Udo have cut to the basket, they've met a defensive player.
Well, he learned from the master on the other bench, Jelko Obradovic, but they were really a good coaching team. Higgins to try to finish the quarter, can't get it to drop. And after 30 minutes in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague championship game, it is 53 for Fenerbahce Istanbul, 69 for CSKA Moscow. A 4-point pickup by Fenerbahce in the third quarter, but they have time to come back in the fourth to try to come and win it.
Turkish Airlines, Doge Group, Spalding, Intersport, and Turkey Home, official global sponsors of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague.
We come back for the fourth quarter of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Championship game. It was CSKA Moscow racing out in the second quarter after a 20-22 lead after one quarter. They made an 18-point difference in the second quarter, just flew Fenerbahce off the floor for 10 minutes and led 30-50 at halftime. And now they're up by 16, 53-69 after three quarters. There you see the two head coaches tonight were coaching team for 13 seasons at Panathinaikos, where they won 5 EuroLeague titles together, and side by side and always together. Lead assistant and head coach, not just any assistant. Joko Obradović has talked many times about how he was more than assistant coach to him, Dimitris Itoudis. And in fact, Dimitris Itoudis had Joko Obradović as his best man at his wedding and the godfather of one of his children. And that's how close these two men were. It was funny, over the years you would hear a lot of people think they were mad at each other on the sidelines because they like to argue during the games about what to do. And Joko has told me plenty of times, that's the intensity I wanted in an assistant coach. Somebody who gets in my ear and helps me figure out what move to make. A lot of fans would see that these guys are arguing with each other. They wanted that. They wanted that intensity, and it certainly paid off with more EuroLeague titles won between these two men than any other team has won in the Final Four era.
I talked to Zelko about his friendship with him the other day personally, and it's just an amazing friendship that they have. And I know Zelko wants the best for him, and Zelko would love to see them win a championship someday. But not today. Not today, I can tell you that right now.
Well, his team, Fenerbahce, has 10 minutes to make up a 16-point deficit as they inbound for the beginning of the fourth quarter. Slukas gets it to Dixon. Back to Dixon on the wing, shadowed by Higgins. Inside to Udo as he dropped Teodosic. Couldn't finish, but got his rebound and blasted it home.
And that's the way Udo scores, right there on the dunk, follow-up dunk.
Breaking the pressure, CSKA way ahead to Higgins, but they pull it out to Teodosic. You wonder how long they'll go without Nicolo, as long as they can, I guess.
Yeah, they're going to try to go as long as they can, but what they can't do is they can't get too complacent, Frank. They got to be able to score.
Higgins in the corner to Kriapa for three.
And that's what they need to do. They cannot be complacent in this game.
Great look by Higgins. He came in and had a chance to put up a floater, but saw Kriapa free in the corner, and perfect timing for that three-pointer. Datome trying to answer off the mark, and Kriapa with the rebound. Here's a guy who's played in 10 Final Fours, more than any other player in Final Four history. First one in 2003 for CSKA. Here he is in 2016, and you know he wants it bad too. He won one in 2008 with CSKA, but came to them in mid-season. Jackson misses a three-pointer. Came to them in mid-season, didn't have a big role in the one that he won.
This has got to mean so much to him because recently had so much. There's another dunk by Udo right down the middle. He's had so many injury problems lately in the last couple of years. For him to be out here and be healthy in his Final Four is so important to him.
Difference of 15 now. It's as close as Fenerbahce has been since the middle of the second quarter. Teodosic shadowed by Bobby Jackson. Gets the ball inside to Vorontsevich. To Kriapa, he misses, and Vorontsevich commits the foul on the rebound against Gigi Datome. Here's the first dunk by Udo.
Right now you're at 15 points with 8 minutes left in the game. What you're thinking in your mind, if you can get this thing to 10 with 5 minutes left, you start to put a little bit more pressure on CSKA. Like I said, they have to continue to play, but Fenerbahce's goal right here, their key, before the 5-minute mark is get this to 10 or under.
Dixon tries to go inside to Udo as Kriapa gets his hand on the ball and tries to save it as it goes out of bounds. Can't do that. It'll remain Fenerbahce possession with 13 on the shot clock. Datome slips but completes the pass to Slukas. He drives, misses his layup attempt. Good defense by Vorontsevich. CSKA almost loses the ball. Teodosic comes up with it. Guarded by Slukas.
Great hands by Udo right there.
Stolen by Udo. Foul committed by Teodosic.
CSKA's looking a little bit sloppy on offense, but again, we always talk about this. When you're down by 10, 15, 16 points, whatever the deficit is, you have to come back on defense. You have to come back with defense, but you also have to be effective on your offensive end.
And a timeout on the floor with CSKA holding on to a 15-point lead, 57-72, with 7:32 to play in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Championship game to see who becomes this year's champion. We see again our insider ref cam with a close-up view and some of the conversations and some of the play. Right here, the call against Kyle Hines on a foul earlier. You see exactly what the referee sees and some of the discussion that he has with the protagonist of the game. You can't be any closer to the action than the insider ref cam. You see CSKA Moscow president Andrei Vatun waiting out the last 7:32 of this game. Of course, this team has been close a lot in the recent years and haven't been able to lift this title. They're in their first final since 2012 when they lost on the last shot, and they also lost in 2009 on the last shot of the game. If they'd gone in, they would have won. And in the case of 2000, here in Berlin in 2009, they had the last shot to win in and lost. They were trying to defend their 2008 title. Haven't won one since 2008. But have had 2 losses on the last shot of the game.
A lot of history.
One out by them and one in by Olympiacos in 2012. So you can see why he's sweating out these last 7.5 minutes with his team up 15. He knows nothing's over until it's over. Lucas gets the ball across half court, shadowed by Aaron Jackson. They lob inside to
what a play.
Backdoor.
What a play.
Anthems for the slam and the foul. Great look by Udo. Great cut by Antic.
Let me tell you something, that's Zeljko Obradovic at his best. They got that timeout. They set that play up beautifully for the backpick. Cut Udo down to the low post. Give him the ball inside, and you see the backpick coming for Antic. What a great play set up right there. And you needed that quick hitter right there. And on top of it, you get the and one. Get back. Here come the fans. Here come the fans, Frank. I'm starting to feel it.
Has most of the fans in this building.
Starting to feel it. Starting to feel yellow.
Antic has 14 points, 9 for 10 from the free throw line. It has his team within 12, which is basically as close as they've been for a long time in this game. Higgins to Jackson. Still has the ball, Jackson. Driving, goes over Udo, puts it down. Aaron Jackson, huge basket.
Oh, that's huge, because let me tell you something, that was a great defensive effort by Fenerbahce. Jackson still got that ball up over Udo, dribbled it in.
Bobby Dixon on the wing, comes out top with the ball. He's gonna fire up a 3. Off the mark, Udo inside for the rebound.
Big Udo going up for 2 shots.
Let's see if the call is for him to get 2 shots.
He's going up.
He went up so quick that...
That's it right there. He's going to get those 2 free throws.
Teodosic now has 4 fouls. A lot of guys with 4 fouls on CSKA. Nando De Colo, Teodosic, Aaron Jackson, and Pavel Korobkov, 4 each.
And look who's coming in. They're not going to keep the girl on the bench for too much longer, Frank.
Udo drops the first shot. He's doing 2 for 2 here, 6 for 8 from the free throw line. So you know who the ball is going to for Fenerbahce for a while. Both Udo and Antic together are 15 for 18 from the free throw line.
And you can bet that they're going to go right at De Colo right now. They're going to go right at him offensively if they can.
This is the MVP of the Euroleague, De Colo, in the game. Again, with 4 fouls, goes right to the basket, tries to go to the corner. Dixon in the passing lane, steals it. Goes inside to Udo, guarded by Hines. Turns around with the hook shot, misses. Antic has the rebound, blocked by Vorontsevich out of bounds.
Yeah, but they're so aggressive right now. Look at Antic, he's jacked up. He's ready to go. He wants a foul call there, but man, they are really going at it.
And the fans of Fenerbahce are into it.
We talked 10 points with 5 minutes. They've got 1:16 left. It's a 12-point game right now.
It'll be 14 seconds on the shot clock when Fenerbahce inbounds. They may be looking at it to make sure of that because the ball glanced off the rim. And of course, in that case, it becomes a new possession on the offensive rebound of 14 seconds only, not 24 seconds. But the referees are just making sure that the ball hit the rim, we believe.
And you know something? For Itudes, even if the ball didn't touch the rim or if he gets the call, he doesn't get the call. What he's doing right now is he's breaking the momentum of Fenerbahce. They got a little bit of momentum going. It's the same thing that happened earlier with the fans. They had a little momentum going, they broke it. Itudes, again, just a genius move. Because even if there's a doubt, you say, hey, let's look at it. What does that do? I just shut you down.
As far as you're concerned, he's well aware of touching the rim and he wants.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he probably knows it touches the rim.
But it would be Fenerbahce that would be asking for replay in this case.
Itudes wants to stop things. They only give him so many timeouts in a game, Frank. He's got to figure out a way to stop some of his momentum.
6:16 to play in the fourth quarter. 12-point lead. Fenerbahce with the ball. Bogdanovic back in.
Watch here.
Udo,
you got to go at him.
Udo against.
You got to go at him.
And of course, Nicolo can't foul, so Udo scores. And we got a 10-point ball game with 6 minutes to play. And this Fenerbahce crowd, you can hear them. They're right back in it. They've been sitting, not making too much noise for the better part of a half of this game. But they are right back in it now. Nicolo. Vorontsevich fakes, gets inside, runner for him off the mark.
And a foul.
And a foul by Vorontsevich. Datome will go to the free throw line. Datome is a great free throw shooter as well, so a little bit of a momentum swing here.
Frank, this is amazing. You got Fenerbahce with no fouls right now. No fouls in this fourth quarter. You have CSKA with 5 fouls. 5:41 left. They go to the line every time. And what does this mean when you have no fouls? You can pick up your defensive intensity. You can risk more. You can draw a foul out of midcourt when you're trying to track. This game is slowly but surely going Fenerbahce's way.
Luigi Datome puts down the first free throw. He's 2 for 2. He's 86% on the season.
You can't tell me that the doubts aren't starting to get into the heads of these CSKA players right now.
We have an 8-point ball game with 5:39 to play. A whole new ball game as Higgins gets it across half court. Higgins still with the dribble. And a foul committed by Bogdanovic.
That's what I was talking about. You can play a little bit more aggressive right there, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to foul after you give up 15 seconds of the shot clock. When you have the team down underneath 10 seconds of that shot clock, that's when you want to pick up defensively and make them force a shot.
Joey was a 12-5 advantage in assists at halftime for CSKA. It's now 17-12. Another factor. They're not moving the ball as well. Higgins, Kriapa for 3. Kriapa on the mark, trying to stop the Fenerbahce momentum, gets the lead back to 11. Huge shot by Victor Kriapa. Boy, he's now up to 8 points with 2 for 4 from downtown.
Man, that's a money shot right there.
Dixon. Udo on the mismatch has Jackson inside, goes for the misses and gets his own rebound, gets it back to Datome. On the mark, Gigi Datome.
Right back
out. Hot. He's up to 13 points. And we have an 8-point ball game.
Oh, this place is so loud right now.
Nicolo inside, misses at the rim. It looks like the foul was called on Kyle Hines. It'll send Pedro Antic to the free throw line.
We had a possibility of getting this game down.
That was blocked by Udo. Udo got a hand on that.
Ever since Udo got that follow-up dunk, he has put himself back into this game. Such a testament of a great player when you don't take yourself out of a game at all.
He's also 9 for 10 from the free throw line, so not the guy you want to foul if you're CSKA Moscow. With 4:31 to play, Slukas comes back in, Bogdanovic goes off for Fenerbahce.
And here comes Teodosic. You know you couldn't keep Teodosic on the bench for too long.
Teodosic replacing Higgins, so 3-point guard lineup for CSKA.
You have to be kidding me, Frank. We have 4:30 left in this game, and we're about to have, if he makes both his free throws, a 2-possession game. We talked about it from the beginning. No one go anywhere. This game is going to come down to the end.
Antic good as gold with the first one.
He didn't like that one, though. He didn't like that free throw. He took it and stepped off the line a little bit. He thought he was going to miss it.
Makes both of them 10 for 11 for 12 from the free throw line is Beto Antic. On an 18-8 run in the fourth quarter for Fenerbahce. Nicolo gets inside, gets fouled by Antic. Let's see if that comes with free throws.
What a
was
vet.
hauled on the floor.
What a vet right there. That's a veteran move right there. You knew there's no way he was going to stop Nicolo from getting to the basket. He fouled him on a dribble, fouled him away from the basket. Make sure you don't give up that free throws. And it's only the second team foul for Fenerbahce.
Those are those fouls to give that you talked about. It. They're like very valuable now in this situation.
You have two more of those. You have two more of those right now to give before we have to start worrying about them going to the foul line. Be smart with them. Be effective with them.
Teodosic inbounds to Nicolo, fakes, goes inside to Kyle Hines. Reversed by him. Good look and good finish by Kyle Hines. Big baskets needed just for CSKA to hang on to this lead. Now back up to 8. Bobby Dixon against Teodosic. Gets around him, goes to the corner. It'll be Kalinic for 3. Off the mark, but look at Bobby Dixon, the smallest guy on the floor with the rebound. Goes to Udo for the slam.
How does Bobby Dixon?
Hard.
How does Bobby Dixon get that rebound?
A lot of heart in Bobby Dixon, that's for sure. If you saw his story, he came from nothing.
Oh, and the hands by again, Udo.
Not the man with the steal. Slukas on the run. Dixon looking for 3. Doesn't take it. We have a 6-point ball game. He's going against Nicolo. He takes it anyway. On the mark. Bobby Dixon has made this a 3-point ball game with 3:25 to play. Unbelievable. The rebound was one thing. The 3-pointer over Nicolo. Bobby Dixon has made it a whole new Turkish Airlines Euroleague Championship game. Don't go away. Not the man with the steal.
The doubts are there now. There's no doubt about it. They need to talk this out this time out.
Let me talk about Bobby Dixon. I did a story with him this year about his life story, and it was nothing in the way of privilege coming up. A disadvantaged youth who had problems in his family throughout his young life and ended up in big problems himself and decided that he was going to make a difference and get out of it. As we see, here's the replay of what happened to CSKA when they were up 19 points with 11 left in one final and lost. They were up again in a semifinal 2 years later and lost on that last shot, lost on 2 last shots. And last year, up 8 with 3 minutes to play, lost to Olympiacos. And sweating out the difference right now as it goes down to 3 points with 3:25 to play.
Well, you got a lot of worried fans right now dressed in red and a lot of real happy fans dressed in yellow and black.
And we neglected to mention that the last foul on Goran Sevic was his 5th. Of course, he's been a huge player for them all season. They don't have him the rest of the way. With 5:41 to play, they lost him for the game. The fouls are coming into play for CSKA because they can't play a tough defense now with Nicolo on 4, Teodosic on 4.
Again,
and the fans of Fenerbahce feel that their team has a chance to win this ball game.
Go back to the foul
Nicolo working with Kriapa, gets the ball across half court. Kurbanov in the game.
Oh, that was close.
Foul by Natomi, but it was close to a steal by Natomi. Lots of great pressure by the Fenerbahce defense. This time does not pay off, but as we said, they had fouls to give.
Yep, and you see him, look how physical they are. Look how physical they are. Natomi should have jumped that a little bit more because he had DeColo right there by the half-court line. If he jumps that a little bit faster, he gets that ball. There is no reason for him to worry about a backdoor cut on that. There's no way Teodosic's going to get it to him.
CSKA has another chance, but only 12 on the shot clock. Hines hands off to Teodosic. To DeColo, driving baseline off the backboard, misses, but there is Nikita Kurbanov with the rebound. Another 14, a turnover. As Kalinic tipped the pass, he gets the ball on the wing. And they want it back down on DeColo with 4 fouls. Nikita Kalinic surrounded now. He gives up the ball, and Teodosic comes up with it. 2:40 to play, 3-point difference. DeColo guarded by Kalinic, who played such great defense on Friday. That's the screen from Kriapa. Goes against Udo, stops, pops over Udo, who gets a piece of it, blocked by Udo. Bobby Dixon on the run with a chance to tie this ball game with a 3-pointer. Dixon pulls it out to Slukas.
Every time Udo steps out of DeColo, he lays a smackdown on him. He's defending him better than point guards defending.
Dixon goes around, Kriapa running one-hander, goes down from Bobby Dixon. And he has brought Fenerbahce back in with a chance to go ahead if they can get a defensive stop. It's a 1-point ball game. Remember, it was 20 at halftime and 21 as a high. Foul off the ball. Let's see what's called on.
Just got the 4th foul right there. From now on, CSKA goes to the line. They're not concerned about that, though. They used every one of those 4 fouls perfectly to get themselves back into this game. They had a 1-point game with 1:40 left. Absolutely amazing.
Everything you can want in a trophy game, and you have it here in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Championship game. 1:41 to play. Everything to play for. It'll be Fenerbahce ball with a 1-point lead by CSKA.
Frank, the storyline is
It'll be CSKA ball, I'm sorry, with a 1-point lead.
This whole storyline is just amazing. We've seen this happen so many times with CSKA. We hate to keep bringing it up, but you can't ignore it. It's absolutely amazing. I talked earlier about complacency. They became a little bit complacent offensively. They didn't attack the basket as much as they should have. But it's such a tough situation.
Corey Higgins back in the game. DeColo will inbound to Kriapa. Trying to get the ball to Teodosic. Gives it to Higgins instead. Higgins working against Kalinic. He'll take a 3-pointer. Corey Higgins off the mark. Kriapa can't get the rebound. And Fenerbahce with a chance to go ahead with 1:28 to play for what would be the first time since very early in this game. Kalinic backing down on Higgins. Gives it to Udo for the jumper off the front of the rim. Udo gets it back. Ball's loose, and Nando DeColo comes up with it.
Oh, what a series of events. Vitudis just called off his timeout. 1 minute left, 1-point game. Big defensive stand right here.
Teodosic, CSKA working with a 1-point lead. Gets past Udo.
Wow, Udo.
Backdoor to DeColo! We've seen it all season. What a look by Teodosic. The two of them have combined on that play many times during the season, but to do it in the final minute of the championship game is incredible. Teodosic with eyes behind his head to see DeColo. Look at it here. DeColo with the cut.
Natomi got caught up right there.
What a beautiful play at such a crucial time.
Udo is doing such a great job of helping out and defending the point guards. Look at the emotion. You gotta love this.
Brought tears to the eyes. We don't know if it was a CSKA fan or a Fenerbahce fan.
You'd be crying.
But that is a heartbreaker if you're a Fenerbahce fan. That is beautiful if you're a basketball fan.
It's a 3-point game, though, I'll tell you. Unfortunately.
As we see what happened in the semifinal on Friday when Kostas Slukas tied it for Fenerbahce late. And he came back in this game tonight to make a couple huge layups. So watch for him, a big game player. It was about 30 seconds left when he came out of a timeout and just raced to the basket, tied it. He's on the floor now.
He's the guy, David Anthems are the guys who said it, they've been here before. They've done this before.
Let's set the lineup as we come out for the last 50 seconds of this game. Bobby Dixon, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Luigi Datome, Pero Antic, and Epe Udo for Fenerbahce. It's Dekolo, Kurbanov, Kriapa, Higgins, and Hines for CSKA. Teodosic not on the floor for this last 50 seconds. They'll be yanking people in and out on defensive and offensive decision-making.
Watch here, Frank. This is where Zelga's a master, setting some out-of-bounds plays up. They gotta be able to get it in safely first.
Dixon
clear out
crossing over. Higgins taking the three-pointer. On the board! Bobby Dixon has tied up this ball game with a three-pointer right out of the timeout. And oh, what heart Bobby Dixon has. Unbelievable. A kid from nowhere with all the disadvantages in life has brought his team on the other side of the ocean back to a tie in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Championship game. He wants a title to complete an incredible story for him. But what he has done right there is complete an incredible comeback from 20 points down for Fenerbahce. And we have a ball game with 43 seconds left, 81-81.
I might have given Zelka a little bit too much credit on the setup of the play. Just give it to Dixon and let him do his thing, and he hit the three.
Hot player Bobby Dixon has done a lot in the last 5 minutes, starting with an offensive rebound in the land of Giants, the smallest player on the court. That was your first tip-off that this guy has the character to lead in this situation.
And now you got to start thinking about time of possession. You have 43 seconds left in this game. All right, what does CSKA want to do with this ball? They're going to take the ball out in the front court. Do they want to get a quick shot off to make it a 2-for-1 possession? Do they want to try to get 2-for-1? Do they want to run this down? Because if they miss and leave Fenerbahce with one shot, they might not get another opportunity to get the ball back.
And then I get the ball again. Tears in the eyes of the fans here.
Look at Dixon.
Mercedes-Benz Arena in Berlin, Germany. As CSKA tries to inbound the ball in an 81-81 tie. And it's been the first tie since early in this game, as you saw. Dekolo, Slukas on the court for Fenerbahce. Dekolo's dribbling away some time.
They're going to try to double team him, I think, when he makes his move. A lot of switching going on. Here comes Collins.
And Higgins on the wings. Hines with the Dekolo driving in. Loses the ball. It comes up. Slukas comes up with it.
Are you kidding me?
Gets fouled by Kyle Hines. That will be just the fourth foul on Kyle Hines. And it will send close to Slukas, I believe, to the free throw line.
And now we're at the 20-second mark. They wasted enough time. They're going to get the ball back, obviously, because of the foul shots. But they only have 20 seconds left.
With a chance to take the lead. Kostas Slukas goes to the free throw line. And he's an 85% free throw shooter for this season. A lot of disbelief on the face of CSKA bench, but they will have 20 seconds left after these free throws. And Slukas makes the first one. That's the first lead since very early in this game for Fenerbahce.
This is absolutely amazing what we're seeing here. It's up to this foul shot and one defensive stand for Fenerbahce to take home this title.
2-in, 2-point lead for Fenerbahce.
Slukas is money.
Dekolo with the ball, 19 seconds left.
You definitely have to protect the perimeter. You don't want to give up a three-point. Oh,
ball goes away. Teodosic comes up with it, gets it back to Dekolo for three to win it. Off the mark, rebound by Kriapa. Ties it up with 1.9 seconds left. Victor Kriapa with a game-time follow-up. 83-83. Do not go away.
Oh my.
There is no telling what will happen with 1.9 seconds left And Fenerbahce having a timeout. The miss on the three-pointer. Kriapa puts it back in to tie the ball game. Big play after big play in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Championship game. Oh, baby, we have a final. What a final already.
1.9 seconds left. There's still a ton of time to make it more spectacular. This is absolutely amazing. The defense by Fenerbahce at the end has just been absolutely amazing. They had the worst break possible. They went after that ball twice and ended up in Teodosic's hands. They had a chance to get that ball and end this game quickly.
Fire in the eyes of Dimitris Itoudis. He wants this title. Everybody on this floor wants this title like nothing else in their lives.
Man,
and every fan in this place is on their feet waiting to see what happens in the last 1.9 seconds. Set the stage for us, Joe.
Well, you're looking at Selko doing his thing out of, you're going to be taking the ball out in the front court. You're looking at a pick. Probably going to try to get Bobby Dixon the ball again. What they did the last time was they switched and they put Kyle Hines out on Bobby Dixon. Let's see what they do here. But
Bobby Dixon pumping up the fans. You got Batame taking it out. You got Bogdanovic who can shoot as well. You've got...
Watch for Udo here going to the basket. Watch for Udo with the...
Datome.
There it is.
Inside the Udo, turnaround jumper. Can't make it. Kyle Hines was putting up the defense. And that means we will go to overtime. 5 more minutes at least before a EuroLeague champion can be decided between the two best teams all season long. They're going to take 5 more minutes to see which of them deserves to lift the trophy.
Frank, I don't think I could do it. How are they going to do it?
And you mean announcing, not playing.
Yeah, exactly. My voice is going to hang in there anymore.
Remember, last year's, it's 83-83. Come back and join us for overtime to see who will be the EuroLeague champion.
Turkish Airlines, Doge Group, Spalding, Intersport, and Turkey Home, official global sponsors of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
You could not ask for anything more in a championship basketball game. 83-83. Fenerbahce, Istanbul and CSKA Moscow going to overtime at Mercedes-Benz Arena in Berlin, Germany, in what is the second year in a row of, no, it was overtime 2 years ago in 2014 when Maccabi beat Real Madrid, but that was the first overtime game in the EuroLeague final since 1969. And in 2 of the past 3 years, that's how close the title has come down to in this fascinating competition. And if you don't think it was fascinating before this game, 20-point comeback by Fenerbahce to take the lead in the closing seconds, and a tip-in by a character guy, Victor Kriapa of CSKA, to send it to overtime. Nobody's quitting. I could not really tell you who has momentum going into this overtime.
No, me neither. It's absolutely unbelievable. I never thought we were going to see a better game than what we saw in the semifinal between Fenerbahce and Lavrov Kuzka. This is top game. It's absolutely amazing. What a competition.
These two teams were kind of battling each other from a distance all season. Didn't play each other, but ended up with the same exact records coming into this game, best records in the EuroLeague, and they both feel that this trophy should be theirs, and they're not going to waste a littlest bit of effort until they know it's in their hands. CSKA gets the ball into Teodosic to start this overtime.
You got Bogdanovic,
guarded by Dixon,
Kalinic, and Datome with 4 fouls with Fenerbahce.
The lob inside to Kyle Hines. He's crowded, can't get it. Kalinic saves the rebound. Good recovery by the Fenerbahce defense to triple team Hines.
DiColo and Hines with 4 fouls for CSKA.
A lot of players with 4 fouls on the court. Dixon, who's been the hero for Fenerbahce down the stretch, gets it to Slukas, pops a 3 on the mark. Goes to Slukas, jumping in the air. He's got Fenerbahce ahead in overtime.
He's a veteran leader, Frank. He's taking it over from that first time we saw him go to the basket, make that layup and get his team involved.
Nicolo driving and fouled by Epe Udo. on the way to the basket. Let's see if it's called. That's a second foul on Epe Udo.
Epe Udo has done such an amazing job of defending Nicolo, and Teodosic coming off the bench. It's such a luxury to have a guy like that to defend against point guards. It makes it so much easier for the point guards to defend the pick and roll.
Lucas has put Fenerbahce up 3. And Nicolo, 90% free throw shooter at the line, gets 1 back for CSKA. And the duel of coaches here, buddies, best friends, coaching against each other has been everything that either of them can want as the great coaches they are. They've won 5 Euroleague titles together, but neither wants to give the other one the littlest bit of a chance to lift the trophy himself while the other one watches tonight. Nicolo makes both. Dixon goes around the corner on Hines. The ball comes out and Teodosic steals it ahead to Higgins, going up by himself and puts CSKA back in front.
What a beautiful play by Higgins, taking it right at the defender, making no questions about it. Got to get a good offense here by Fenerbahce. We got to get back into this game. You got Teodosic down low. There it is. There's your look. Come on,
Udo in the post with a mismatch. Gets it out, swings to Bogdanovic. Blocked by Higgins in the corner. Bogdanovic gets it back and makes it right before the shot clock buzzer. They're going to check it. They're going to check it.
I think that was a good-looking shot. I thought I saw it from here pretty good. I saw the light go off.
Big shot after big shot in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Championship game. I'm going to take a moment here while there's a timeout on the floor and they check to make sure the shot was good. Look at that. Turn around on the block and catch by
no doubt about
Bogdanovic. We'll see what they say.
That's
the referees,
right there.
But if he got it, it was just before the shot clock expired, and he did, putting Fenerbahce back in front. I'm going to take a moment here to tell people, next year, the new EuroLeague comes, a new format where every great team plays every great team all season long, and we still end up with the Final Four after the playoff. If you think this is fun, you're going to see the best going against the best every night from next season onward for the first time in the history of European basketball.
We're going to do this every night?
Nando Nicolo to Teodosic to Hines, to the basket and in. Kyle Hines puts CSKA back in front.
Beautifully executed play right there. Kyle Hines cutting down the middle.
Back and forth on the scoreboard here in overtime. Bogdanovic, he's got 1 shot, and he was their overtime hero in the semifinals. He kicks out to Kalinic inside to Udo, spinning, and he misses. Ball knocked out of bounds by Bobby Dixon.
Dixon got in there.
I don't know if Kriapa got a piece of that, but it did not hit the rim. I thought it went straight in fact, but it did. Great look, great play by CSKA to get Kyle Hines an easy layup, and that in this situation is not easy. It'll be CSKA ball with a 1-point lead and 2:43 to play. They, of course, led by 20 at halftime, but had to tip the ball in on the last play of regulation time just to get to overtime. Teodosic across half court, working with Hines.
There's
three-pointer blocked by Udo. The ball's loose, and Lucas comes up with it. Falls down. And a kick ball by Lucas. Lucas was coming up court with the ball, got a little touch by Higgins and hit the floor, lost control, and then kicked it with his foot. So it will be CSKA ball.
The defense by Udo on the half-court set is just amazing. He has been the MVP on the defensive side.
Nicolo to the basket again for the one-hander. He has CSKA up by 3.
Not that time, though. Nicolo got by him.
Nothing safe about a 3-point lead, but every shot at this point is golden. Second time in a row, he went past the best shot blocker of any season in EuroLeague history and just extended to the point of keeping him away from the ball enough to make a one-handed layup. Nando Nicolo now up to 16 points. CSKA has 6 double-digit scorers. Teodosic with 17, Nicolo with 16. He's got 7 assists. Both of them have 7 assists as well. Kyle Hines with 13, Corey Higgins with 12, Andre Vojcevic out of the game with 5 fouls, but he had 11 points. And Victor Kriapa with 10, and probably one of the best shots of his career to send this game to overtime. Something what Bobby Dixon did to bring Fenerbahce back. 3-pointer over Nicolo, a running floater. This is at the end of the 4th quarter, and then a step back 3 and tie the ball game.
You don't think he's going to be getting the ball back here in the next couple minutes? There's no doubt he's going to have that ball in his hand. Bobby Dixon is a big-time player and wants that ball.
Beto Antic leads Fenerbahce with 16 points. Dixon's got 14, Datome 13, Epe Udo 14, I'm sorry. And Kostas Lukas 10. And those are the players on the floor.
Going back to the small lineup like he did the other night against Labal Kuska with Datome.
Except for Beto Antic, Bogdanovic instead of Antic out there. Remember, Bogdanovic had 9 of his 18 points in the semifinal in overtime. He was their overtime hero. Dixon, Fenerbahce down 3. Gorbanov on the switch. It's Lucas. They go inside to Datome. Aaron Jackson. And the pass from Datome to Udo for the dunk. It's a 1-point ball game again.
What a dish by Datome. Going for the turnaround fadeaway. Sees the help right there. Makes a beautiful left-handed pass. Look at this. What a way to read the help and find Udo.
Fake Kriapa was a very good defender, once the best defender trophy winner. Thought that Datome was going for the shot, but wraparound pass and another easy basket. Nicolo and Teodosic back in together. Kriapa, Higgins and Hines. Cross half court is Nicolo guarded by Slukas. Off the backwards, pushed by Slukas on the shot. That'll send Nicolo to the free throw line.
And that's what the MVP does best. He gets to the free throw line. He knows how to penetrate, knows how to use his body, knows how to push off defenders, but knows how to create fouls. He's a 90% free throw shooter. And you know he's got it. I mean, that's exactly where he wants to be. This is where he feels most comfortable.
Number 2 in fouls drawn in the Euroleague this season is Nando Nicolo.
That's the 4th foul on Slukas also.
And number 2 in free throws made. Still laser focus on the part of Nando Nicolo. He makes this, will be the top scorer in the game. Lead back to 3, 1:38 to play. But Fenerbahce was in worse shape than that in the 4th quarter, so do not go away.
Great sub right there, too, getting Nicolo out on the defensive side. You don't want to have to work those mismatches. You need him in offensively.
Lucas to Datome, stops and pops, a jumper, rolls around, and it's knocked out by Udo. It'll be CSKA Moscow ball. And again, the substitution. Bringing Teodosic back in. Remember the foul situation, as Joe was saying earlier, Kyle Hines with 4, Teodosic with 4, and Nicolo with 4. And the same side for Fenerbahce, Slukas with 4, Bogdanovic with 4, Datome with 4, Nikola Kalinic with 4. So even now, with 1:26 to play, one of those guys with 4 fouls could play a factor or not if he gets his 5th in this game.
Well, I think the most important guy on the floor for Jessica, without a doubt, is Nicolo. He's MVP of the season, obviously. He needs to be out there. You don't want him to have to play defense. You know they're going to go way up. You do not want him to get his 5th foul. And that's the reason why we're seeing this substitution carousel going on right now.
Take a look. Apparently it's going to be CSKA ball. As you saw the replay there. It was Udo. Nicolo gets it in bounds, not just barely. Guarded by Bobby Jackson. Jackson right on him. Spins. Jackson's still there. Nobody with him. He's backing down, spins. One-hander, misses, but Kyle Hines is there for the putback. It's a 5-point lead by CSKA.
You saw Hines just down there smelling that play, waiting for it and waiting for it to get that ball.
Dixon The big gun goes inside to Kalinic. And Victor Kriapo with the block from behind. CSKA in control, up 5 with 48 seconds left. Teodosic brings it across half court. Dekolo with the ball. Both of them are great free throw shooters. And a foul is called as his trap comes from Fenerbahce, and that will put Nando Dekolo on the free throw line and put CSKA Moscow in the driver's seat. You never say never in this league. But good defense by Teodosic, standing up straight against Kalinic, and here came Victor Kriapo. That's 2 huge plays for him at the end of regulation time. A great shot with 1.9 seconds left on a follow-up in the air.
Nothing bigger than that tap in, let me tell you.
Nothing bigger than that. That's the only reason they were in overtime. And now the block that ends up putting Nando Dekolo on the free throw line, give him 19 points. He was the MVP of the season, and he's doing it in overtime.
And if you're a CSKA fan, it's exactly the man you want on that line right now in this situation.
And a 7-point lead with 39 seconds left. Let's talk these teams. This club has suffered, as we said, 2 losses in this game, the title game, on the last shot, while making it to 7 out of the last 8 Final Fours. And they want this more than anybody. Dixon's going to try to get 3 back off the backboard and in for Bobby Dixon. 4-point ball game with 30 seconds to play. That's why I said don't go away. If you went away at any point, you're missing one of the greatest finals ever played. Bobby Dixon off the backboard. And look at the face of Dimitris Itoudis. He's seen it all, and he doesn't believe that one either.
The Moscow fans are waiting to celebrate here, but they can't. People like Bobby Dixon are keeping them in their seats, keeping them nervous. 4-point lead, 29.9 seconds.
The president of CSKA Moscow.
Talk about nervous.
Talk about nervous. His team was up 20 at halftime and up by double digits in the 4th quarter, but he's had to wait through overtime now. They were up 7 with 38 seconds to play. Now it's down to 4 with plenty of time on the clock. It takes 1 takeaway.
I think 5 minutes ago he was ready to sell his team. Now he's going to stick around for a little while.
1 takeaway. Right now, it's a 2-possession ball game with 29 seconds left in overtime. 30 with a 1/10 of a second.
We've seen Fenerbahce pressure a lot on out-of-bounds plays. They're going to have to do that right now and try to get a trap. Maybe try to force the ball to the sideline where they get 2 players to trap and cut through the middle and get a steal. If they get a quick steal, they're not going to get it. If not, they have to really about thinking about fouling. But
it's never over till it's over.
But you have the best free throw shooters on the court right now. There's no doubt that Coach Itoudis is going to put his best free throw shooters out there.
This is the Turkish Airlines Euroleague where anything can happen and probably will. We have 30 seconds in overtime to see what else these teams can dream up in the battle for the title. Kriapo takes it. Gets it to Dekolo, right man at the right time. Winding down the seconds. He's challenged, gets it to Teodosic. He's got to get rid of the ball. And a foul is called on Epe Udo. Very good trapping by the Fenerbahce defense. But there's a crowd around Teodosic there, almost a steal. Udo just crowding him a little too much. He had his pivot foot held.
That was exactly the trap that they needed, as I was talking about, getting that trap out at the half-court line, somewhere where there's nowhere else to pass the ball. They had a beautiful trap. Udo might have just get a little bit too aggressive down low.
And Milos Teodosic with the free throw, 27 for 29. CSKA tonight at the free throw line, a big difference. Whereas they've only missed 2 while Fenerbahce has missed 12. 9 of those by Jan Vesely. And another one goes down, makes it a 6-point lead with 17 seconds left. CSKA will not take anything for granted. They cannot, knowing their history. Bobby Dixon, step back. Gets it to Datome for 3. On the mark, Luigi Datome. We have a 3-point ball game with 7.5 left in overtime. And I keep saying don't go away. 7.5.
I'm not
And
sure.
remember what we saw in the top 16. CSKA Moscow and Barcelona losing by 6 with about 8 seconds left. There was a three-pointer and then a steal and another shot
with
to win the game. Teodosic taking the ball out, gets it to Decolo, and the foul committed by Datomi. That was the key right there to get the ball out of bounds. And Decolo and Teodosic, to me, the key play in this ball game was the backdoor between Teodosic and Decolo when it looked like before the tip-in by Griapa, but they made 2 huge plays when they looked like they were wilting in regulation time. And here they are in control now with 6.2 seconds left. And the great Nando Decolo on the free throw line. He's got 20 points and he's 7 for 8 at the line. Make it 8 for 9 now.
That's the one right there. That's the one they needed. They just needed one.
They don't even have to play defense now. He may even miss this one on purpose, just for Fenerbahce not to get a timeout and get a quick 3. We shall see. Andrei Vatutin, the president of CSKA Moscow, looking on anxiously. He's been here before, and his team has not come up with the title, losing on the last shot a couple times, and now they've had to fight through overtime to be in this position. Decolo makes it. 5-point ball game. Decolo takes a seat. Jackson and Demetrius Nichols come in the game. As Bogdanovic takes a running 3 off the front of the rim. This is how it will end with CSKA Moscow, long-awaited new title, and the 2 best friend coaches discussing what was a great and fantastic final that they themselves helped put on. 7th Euroleague title for CSKA Moscow. First for Dimitris Itoudis as a head coach, even though he won 5 with Željko Obradović. A long embrace at half court and a little discussion like they always had over the years, but now it's the apprentice winning against the master, but not without an incredible battle that went on for 45 minutes. And there is Andrei Vatutin, the president of CSKA Moscow, letting it all out after waiting so many years since 2008, that club's last title, and so many frustrations at the Final Four. Give them their due. They have gone back to the Final Four almost every year since 2008, often with one of the best 2 or 3 teams record-wise, and they have had to wait. They deserve everything they get tonight for once again putting together a fantastic team and winning this title in incredible fashion, challenged every moment of the way, and still having the mental toughness to become champion, CSKA Moscow.
Frank, I don't know what to say. I honestly don't know what to say. This is absolutely amazing. One of the best basketball games I've ever seen. The fact that it's a final even makes it that much more important and that much more significant. It was everything we wanted to see in the game. It was probably that little span with a 20-point lead that you didn't want to see that. But the comeback was amazing. You mentioned that the team almost wilted. They did wilt. They did wilt. But they came back with that tap in, and they were able to regenerate themselves, which is so important in the overtime because they lost a lot of momentum in the game.
96 to 101 in a final. You can't ask for better basketball. There may be a winner and a loser, as we see Dimitris Itoudis tossed up in the air by his players. There may be a winner and a loser, and it has to be that way in basketball on this court tonight. But I think anybody who loves basketball won this game as well, because you can't ask for anything more from the Continental Final in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Championship game. Hugs around and much deserving. You had a feel over the years for this CSKA Moscow club and what they had to go, what they went through. But they went through it and came back, and they won with a lot of heart and a lot of character. They always had it. They always had it. And they had some bad luck in one case and just great play by another team in both cases, really. But they had a couple games in their hands that they could have won the title before. And now, finally, they get a chance to feel redeemed and enjoy every single one of those hugs we will get the chance to talk to one of these new champions, Milos Teodosic. 6 losses before this. He's a champion tonight. George Zidek with Milos Teodosic.
Milos, you finally got one. Some tough losses since Istanbul. Just give me your feelings.
I didn't know that it's that great feeling winning this trophy. Now I'm gonna work even more hard to get more trophies.
How was the
amazing feeling? It was tough game. We was leading by 20, and controlling all game. But Fener is great team. They don't give up. They never give up, and we give everything what we have inside to win this game tonight.
You played with 4 fouls. Nando had 4 fouls.
Yes.
Kyle had 4 fouls. I mean, you played so many minutes, so many crucial minutes down the stretch with 3 key players with 4 fouls. How did you accomplish?
And we was playing good defense. I don't know if you agree with me. We played with the 3 guys. With
Absolutely agree.
Yeah, we play good defense, and we show character as a team. And I'm really so proud on all these guys. We know how much we was working during all season, and this is like something big for all of us.
A key play in the game. Going down the stretch in quarter number 4, you made the backdoor pass to Decolo to Nando.
We did this.
Take us through that play. Tell us something about it.
We did this so many times. We never practiced this, but during all season we was doing big backdoor cuts, and it's I don't know. We have something between us about these backdoors.
Is that a proof that you can win without a typical big man? You play with Kyle Hines as your principal center.
Kyle is huge man. This is the point, that he's huge man with huge heart.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Milos Teodosic, finally a champion after 6 previous tries at the Final 4. Comes up with the big plays, including that backdoor pass to Nando Decolo, and he wins his first title. He was at a couple Final Fours with Olympiacos and the others with CSKA. He's lived through the heartbreaks, and give him some credit after he had 19 points, 7 assists, 2 steals, and 5 rebounds for CSKA Moscow to finally lift the trophy that he so well deserves. We're going to see if we can talk to some more of the new champion, CSKA Moscow. Remember, it's the 7th title in CSKA's illustrious history. They waited 35 years between number 4 and number 5 in 2006. Won another a couple years later. Lost by 2 points the year in between, and 1 point, 2 points a year in between and 2 points a year after, and then struggled, lost on the last shot a couple more times since then, and just, you got to give it to these guys. They've had to earn it tonight against Fenerbahce, and now we will hear from head coach Dimitris Itoudis, who we saw with tears in his eyes, as soon as we can get him to the microphone. Here he is, Dimitris Itoudis, first Euroleague title as a head coach.
Coach, your first thoughts, how proud are you of your team?
Honestly, if now you would excuse me, I don't have smart words to say.
That's first time, that's first time.
The only word I would say is, I'm really proud of this team. I'm really proud for those guys that they make first time to the Final 4, to the final, and they reach the goal. This is written now history. I told them that it's written up there, that they have to win that. And they did with a heart, with a soul, with a determination. I'm happy for the management. I'm happy for Mr. Vatutin. I'm very happy. I'm very happy, yes.
I'm very happy
also.
also.
He did it. And I'm proud for the management, for the club, for every supporter, for the management. It's an amazing. We had some bad moments in the game, but we got a strong belief.
Only like that.
We got a strong belief.
I saw you after the game hugging Milos Teodosic right in the middle circle, and it was a very emotional exchange.
I would say that. First of all, I hugged Mr. Obradovic and Željko, a great person, a great coach. And I said that a big piece of that is his, although it's a bad moment now because he lost. I wouldn't be over here if it was not him. And that's big, and that's from my bottom of my heart. Coming to Milos, to Nando, I told him he has to win it. He changed everything, the way of practice, the way of attitude. I have, and a captain, I have leaders in that team. Like Victor, it's written to be an important player on the court and win it and raise that trophy with proud now for CSKA. I'm proud for those 1,000 that they follow us and for those that they make 10,000 and more. Excuse me, I'm emotional now. I really apologize to the fans, to the audience, but it comes from my heart.
Enjoy the sweet victory. You deserve it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
There we heard from Dimitris Itoudis, and as he said, it came from the heart, pouring out. He won 5 as an assistant coach with his opponent tonight, Joko Obradovic. But this is the first time, only his second year as a head coach in the Euroleague, that he has basically had to wrest it out of the hands of his mentor, who he gave much credit to in that interview. Gave him some credit for CSKA's win because of how much he taught him, Joko Obradovic and Dimitris Itoudis. And you will never see that probably on a court of basketball at this level ever, because they were such a partnership, and now the young man has taken it from his mentor and will lift the EuroLeague trophy as a head coach for the first time.
This man, first of all, has nothing to be sorry about. There's nothing to apologize for. He did an amazing job. And right here, I'm sitting, I'm looking at him. He's still coaching, Frank. He's talking to Demetrius Nichols, who only played 6 seconds. Demetrius Nichols walked in the game with 6.2 seconds left. I saw him, and he just went up to Demetrius Nichols, and he just coached him. Even after the game, even after winning the title, he coached Demetrius Nichols and said, hey, you were a huge part of this. Even though you only played 6 seconds, you were a huge part of this. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here. That's an amazing coach right there.
Let's take a second to congratulate Fenerbahce Istanbul for giving us an incredible final by coming back with 20 points behind to put this game into overtime and fight right down to the last second of overtime. There's Meli Mitolu, their captain, who is taking the second place trophy, a much deserved award for that team. They didn't win a game at the Final Four last year. They won in overtime in this year's semifinal, and they took it to overtime in the final. You can't get any closer than Fenerbahce Istanbul did. And there's the announcement that Nando De Colo is the MVP of the Final Four after he put up 22 points with 7 assists, 3 steals, and 11 fouls drawn for CSKA Moscow tonight after having the record in a single game, do-or-die game at the Final Four in the semifinal on Friday, and I believe that takes him to a new scoring record in the Final Four. Nando De Colo, and he's rewarded. The MVP of the season is now rewarded with the MVP trophy of the Final Four as well. So a clean sweep for Nando De Colo, which is very rare.
And the scoring record. Absolutely amazing season for De Colo.
Scored more points on average than all but 2 other players since the turn of the century in the EuroLeague. And just was, I thought his laser focus was, of course, one of the reasons he became the MVP this season. But also, I think it spread throughout the team. They saw a guy who was not, racking up the points and congratulating himself and, enjoying it too much because he wanted to get to this moment tonight more than anything else, and he never kept his eyes, never strayed from the straight line that he wanted to take all the way here. And I think you saw it with the rest of the team at this Final Four. Let's face it, they've faced adversity in this Final Four.
And what's happening now is exactly what you play for, exactly what you practice for, exactly what you eat well for, exactly what you work out on a daily basis for. To be handed that trophy and then lift it up over your head is just an amazing feeling. But there's always a feeling after this, Frank, that happened with me, is a little feeling of emptiness. It's like it's over. It's like everything you worked for the last 10 months is over. But you're going to have a lot of fun tonight.
You certainly are. We see the disappointed faces on the Fenerbahce people who are so close. We already talked about that man, Milos Teodosic, who suffered through 6 Final Four losses and finally has a chance to lift that trophy. Nando De Colo, the MVP. We saw before Vitaly Fritzin, one of the Russian players who's had a chance a couple years before, didn't make it as well. There's the president and CEO of Euroleague basketball, Jordi Bertomeu, handing out the trophies. Victor Kriapa played in 10 Final Fours, won one, but was not a protagonist. He made up for that tonight.
Sure did.
Talk about a protagonist. He kept it into overtime.
And you mentioned Fritzson, who only played 6 minutes tonight, but was such a valuable part of the semifinal game.
Here we see Dimitris Atudis getting his trophy from Jelko Ivad, from Jordi Bertomeu. Even behind him, we see Joel Freeland, their injured big man. They did this without maybe their biggest signing of the offseason, Joel Freeland. Their big man was not here when he was injured. Ilker Aytsi, the chairman of the board and executive committee of Turkish Airlines, of course, the competition's title sponsor for the last 6 seasons, also helping out in the trophy ceremony, as Dimitris Atudis jacking up the CSKA crowd. They don't travel as much as some other teams because they're further away and so on, but they have a lot of love from their team for coming here, and they know that a lot of folks are waiting for them back home in Moscow to celebrate the 7th Turkish Airlines Euroleague trophy in the history of CSKA Moscow. I just think after making 13 of 14 Final Fours, 13 in the last 14 years, which is both the first longest streak, the first 8 years, and this year became the second longest streak, 5 more, is a testament to the quality, top to bottom, of this organization and how they do business and how they prepare a basketball team for greatness. And they may have had some bad luck and lost on the last shots in the last few years, and that's part of the game. But they keep coming back, and they keep coming back until they won it tonight. And you have to just feel very, very happy for everybody involved in that organization for what they did. Here's Victor Kriapa. Came back from an injury, didn't play for a while. He will be the man lifting the trophy for CSKA Moscow, the new EuroLeague champions. He's still got the bandage on his hand from his injury, his wrist injury, but Victor Kriapa is dancing with the trophy in the middle of the court here at Mercedes-Benz Arena in Berlin, Germany, a place where CSKA lost on the last shot in 2009. This time they won in overtime, and they will be celebrating into the night for what is a much-deserved and long-awaited Turkish Airlines EuroLeague title. Just let them celebrate, watch them on the court. They deserve every minute of this Final Four glory that they finally reached up and seized. And as Milos Teodosic said in his interview, after waiting all these years, now I know what it feels like. And the immediate thing he said is, I want more. And you hear a lot of players say that after finally winning something this big.
It's an addictive feeling right now. You get addicted to that feeling. You love it. You love what it means. Talk about taking a monkey off his back. Take that monkey off his back 6 times. He hasn't had it. And now he's got it in the possession. It's such a great feeling. And I want to know one thing, Frank. Where's the party at? I want to be with the Russians when it's party time.
We'll have to get that information.
I got a little
Russian later.
I got a little Russian in me.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Anybody who watched this game, saw this game, announced this game, played in this game, they won't be resting for a while because the adrenaline rush from this game was so incredible. 20-point comeback, a tip-in to get the game to overtime, and then a tough overtime with big shots every step of the way. But when you win that EuroLeague title, you have to earn it, and CSKA Moscow did just that. I remind our fans, next year, you will see every great team against every great team in the new EuroLeague. And if you enjoyed this, we will be here next year. Let's talk to Nando De Colo.
Nando, you got the MVP of the regular season. Today you went to EuroLeague, you're the MVP of the Final Four. How does it feel?
I'm feel great, but this is just detail. The most important thing is this cup and nothing more. I'm very proud of us because we work hard during all the season. Everybody think it's easy because we are CSKA, but we need to fight day by day, game by game, and we did it.
Well, I think that you had a lot of adversity with all the injuries to your front line. It was not an easy season.
No, it was a tough season, like every season. But like I say, this season we got a real team, and everybody fight for his teammate.
What do you think about Milos Teodosic? He said, well, I finally got my first championship, but I don't care. I want more. I'm going to work hard.
And I want more too. He's a great player, and he fights along the season, so this is great too.
Congratulations and enjoy.
Thank you very much.
Sometimes thousands of miles separate even the biggest fans from the biggest game. But what if the arena got bigger? As big as the entire world? Social Internet of Things technologies are transforming the individual experience into a social one. The fans at home will join the crowd on high-definition screens and speakers by amplifying the in-stadium fans' excitement level. And how you celebrate on your couch will make its way into the arena. Whose fans are really the most excited and engaged? With IoT social technologies, wearables, smart clothes, video analytics, social platforms, and unique virtual visualization, give your team that extra boost. And surrounded by legions of other fans, we all feel stronger. The world is the arena.
Here we see some of the great images from our insider ref cam that we saw during the entire year, and this is the images of the celebration after CSKA won it after so long waiting. You see the view of that last moments from the referee's camera. Then he goes off the court, of course, and we continue with the celebration at Mercedes-Benz Arena in Berlin, Germany. CSKA Moscow lost one final here in 2009 on the last shot. They did not let that happen to them tonight. As you see, Dimitris Atudis still holding the trophy and showing it off there. And we talked before to Nando De Colo, first French player to become the MVP of the Euroleague ever. Obviously, first French player to become the MVP.
This is written now history. I told them that it's written up there.
Finals.
It's absolutely amazing. I had a great time this year. I really appreciate being here, and I love working with you, Frank.
You couldn't ask for anything more in a final, and next season you won't be able to ask for anything more in a basketball competition, because the new EuroLeague will be back in a few months, creating more and more glory for basketball fans to watch. Thank you. It was a great season. Come back and join us in the fall.
Turkish Airlines Euroleague. No jump, no glory. Game of the Week, presented by Turkish Airlines, Doğuş Group, Seat, Intersport, and Turkey Home.